Big tunes. Big summer drum and bass style tunes. On a Tuesday. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. How are you all doing? Look at all these beautiful people in the chat already. What's going down? Hello. And it's Tuesday. That can only mean one thing. Well, what can it mean, I hear you ask? If you've never been here before on a Tuesday, well, I wasn't doing this for a while, so maybe you have been here for a couple of Tuesdays and we've not done this, and you're like, what's Muel doing? Why is he trying to gaslight me? No, I promise I'm not. This is a thing that we do. This is a thing that we do.
Yes, really Tuesday? How do you like this Tuesday?
Oh yeah, look, I'm in Denver. It's Denver Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Tushi Taishi.
It's Tuesday, isn't it? I'll make Tuesday happen, Captain.
Dang. It's Tuesday.
Alright, it's Tuesday, so I'll see you next Tuesday. I really will. Have a dope Tuesday.
Apples are crispy and mangoes are delicious.
That's right.
Go check your calendar if you think you're suspicious, cause it's Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's Tuesday. Do what you wanna.
It's Tuesday!
You know, it's true and he should say it. It's true and he should say it. How's it going, everybody? What's going on? Welcome in. Look at this. Got a well-produced stream for you today. It's happening. It's happening. Oh my god, we've got content to start the stream off and everything. Holy shit. I am a bit late. Apologies. I was trying to soak up some sun. Soak up a couple of rays and get more red for you. More and more red. More and more red as the day goes on. Just can't stop getting red. I'm on a mission to get redder than Caleb Morpin, to be honest. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. Because, you know, despite how mad I get about some stuff, I am quite a relaxed person, just in general. But I do like spicy food, and I do like sunbathing. So there's every chance that it might happen. Not going to lie. Look at all these people in the chat. Who we got? We got Adam Warlock, we got JMM, we got Half a Laptop, we got Yajfin, we got Cynthia Citrus, we got Neon Mage. Welcome in. We got who else? We got Chaos Merlin. We got Hell to Pay. We got Box Full of Leaves. We got the Ori. We got Lyra and Friends. We got Pat Potato. We got Sorka Sublime. We got Julia. We got Gumba Master. We got Shafiq. We got Tabsykin. We got Vord. We got Grub. Oh my god, there's so many. So many. Can't even keep up. Can't even keep up. Genuinely can't even keep up with all the new people who are popping in the chat. Yes, it is Tuesday. Yeah, it is Tuesday. I promise you it's Tuesday. It's not a gaslighting thing. Green and Grey Solar Punk, hello. It can't be healthy to get even as red as Caleb, much less more. That's very true. It was just a bit of a joke. I'm definitely not planning on getting more red than Caleb Morpin. The more red, the powerful. Well, that's what I heard. Shafiq, I would love it if we could get a shout out for Lyra and Friends, please. That would be great. That would be cool. Until you look like a drunk Brit in Spain. Well, that is also a bit of a downer. Yeah, that's also a bit of a downer on the old what you look like scale. Hey, Video Pheasant, Morpin is red due to his raw lobster masculinity and you cannot compete. You know what? You're right, and I'm fine with that. I'm genuinely fine with that. My mayonnaise skin is getting itchy just thinking about it. I've not started to flake yet on my sunburn from yesterday. Hold up. I wore a special top so you could see. Underneath my shirt, I wore a special top so you could see the extent. The absolute extent of the sunburn. Oh. I know I was showing this off yesterday, but like, oh. Like, that's what I mean. Like, look. Like, that's how I know I've not fucked up, like, you know, the color grading of the cam and shit. Because, like, that's my actual... This is my actual skin. This is what my actual skin looks like. So, yeah, there you go. That's what's going on. Victim of my own success. I know, Gumba. I know. It's not sore. It's not sore yet. It's not sore, honestly. Like, it's not started to peel or anything. It's not, you know... Sunburn is the built-in color check, right? That's right. Yeah, I got that farmer's tan, yeah. God damn. Absolutely absurd. But... Oh, Middle-earth Marxist is here as well. Hello, Middle-earth Marxist. How you doing? So we got... Muel does kind of look like the bin swimmer if the bin swimmer had a magical girl transformation. What? What does that even mean? Gonna turn that down a bit because it sounded a bit loud. Chaos Merlin asked me how I am. I'm good. I'm good. I'm having a good time. Like I said, I was soaking up the sun. That felt great. And I've done a bit of writing. I've done a bit of work today. So that's felt really good. You know, the next Debate Bro video, it's a nightmare to get through. It's an absolute nightmare to get through, to be honest. Like, it is really hard, like, the research that I'm doing. Kind of having to, like, watch a guy be like, I definitely didn't do anything wrong over something that, like, if he just said, yeah, that was fucked up and I probably shouldn't have done that and I'm not gonna do it again, would probably be fine. But then making, like, multiple videos about it and being like, oh, I have to debunk these allegations. There's too much drama. I have to end the drama. Like, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it just gets so tiring. It's just absurd. Yeah, extreme psychic damage. Extreme psychic damage. Yeah. Off topic, but the color of the shirt looks really cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a nice, yeah, it's a good fucking shirt. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, nice sort of like dark red and like, you know, it's kind of like a navy blue. Really nice. No, that's not even about his fucking ex, Cynthia. That's not even about the guy's fucking... I've not even got into that bit yet. I've done a tiny bit of research about that, and that shit sucks. But this is about something else. It's just so bad. It's so intense. I can't, honestly, because I was outside, I was sunbathing, and I was doing this research, and I was like sweating because it's so hot. But then like it was getting even more intense. Like I was sweating even more because it was just legit like too hard to watch. Like, oh, just so ridiculous, honestly. Debate Bros actually apologize challenge. Difficulty level impossible. Yeah, it is impossible. It is impossible. You gotta consume some cheap irradiated Italian food. Microwave pasta. Very nice. The shirt is a nice fabric, Shafiq. That's what I go for with most of my clothes, to be honest. If I am gonna wear clothes, they've got to feel nice on my body. You know? Why am I so far down? I've just realized like how far down I am. Wait, hang on a minute. That is where I should be. That was so odd. That was so weird. Hello, Quill. What's going on? Can I get a shout out for Quill, please, Shafiq? I also went to the gym. I've had a really like low energy day, to be honest. I think it's because I went on a big walk yesterday and I was super tired. I did a lot of talking and a lot of walking yesterday. And then woke up today very, very just like, oh, like I don't want to do anything today. But I forced myself to go to the gym and I felt great about it. Really, really good about it. Did a really good workout. And yeah. So that was really nice. That was it, you know? Yeah, I know. Yeah, we spoke about your day today in Sophie's Discord earlier, yeah, so that's, yeah. I know, Quill. I know. Let's get some love in the chat for Quill, please. They're a fucking absolutely wonderful person. They don't deserve, you know, any shit whatsoever. No one does, in my opinion, but, you know. Hey, Starmiss, last time I watched the debate, it was like 8 people and 1 person just left out of anger or something. Yeah, it's really bad, like the whole debate content thing is just like, it's just so, it's hard content to consume in general. You know? Watched a debate bro once, then I promptly grew a burning hatred for debate. That's the right way to do it. That is the right way to do it. TBH. You made inroads with the filth that you live in and may even finish next week. That sounds very good. Hey, Lime Wielder, what's going on? I do need to do a bit of a cleanup of the flat. That's the one thing that's missing in my life at the minute. We call them debate perverts for a reason. Right. Also, full offense, Londoners can get fucked. Not even no offense, just like full offense. Full offense, fuck Londoners. Listen, some of my good friends are Londoners. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, God. We got a lot of cool stuff going on in the stream today, gang. We're going to be taking a little look at the news. We've got Big Amy. Big Amy coming in. And we've got a video from Luna about war memories from the Vietnamese communist side from the Vietnam War. So we're going to watch that. That's a kind of a short video essay. It's about 22 minutes long. Then we've got Mick Lynch dismantling the media, Keir Starmer, and extreme right-wing governments. Very, very cool. Then we're gonna watch that why Kurt Cobain was fired by the Melvins. We're gonna watch that, and then hopefully we'll have time for Mildred's new video on hard work. I really want to watch this. I really want to check that out, and I've got a couple of other videos if we have more time. I think that we're only gonna get to Chud Bingus tomorrow. You know this guy Mr. H, who we watched like a minute of yesterday, and he already said a slur. So, you know. So I think we're gonna save the Chud Bingus cards for tomorrow. Yeah, the new video is really good. I've heard it's really good. Yeah. Lime Wielder says, I'm honestly not doing too great right now. I got some bad health news. I'm not dying, but I do need surgery. I'm sending you a lot of love. Let's get some love in the chat for Lime Wielder. We can't do much to help you get through it, but we definitely can give you some love hearts in the chat and make you feel like it's, you know, like you're accepted. Like you're supported by us, you know? There is a Chud Bingus. You don't win anything from it, because it's definitely not fun. It just makes it a little easier to watch, like, Chud content. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's all it is, really. DJ Che made it. DJ Che is a good supporter of the stream, you know? Yeah, thank you, everybody. Look at that. Look at this supportive community. I love it. I love to see it. You ever think about the only way the surveillance state changed over time is that people now willingly sign over their private data? Yeah, I do think about that a lot, actually. I do think about that a lot. Well, listen, chat, without further ado, because I'm already late, let's do the news. Let's do the news. We've got Big Amy coming in strong. There she is. Everyone say hello, Amy. Let's hear what she's got to say. Let's analyze the news from a leftist perspective. We are going into the politics category. Get ready for the chuds. Get ready for the debate bros. We're going in. We're diving right in, chat. We're diving right in.
Mar-a-Lago resort and home in Florida.
Oh, this is the big one. This is the big one. Okay, I heard about this. I heard about this like, I think it was late last night or potentially like earlier today. I can't remember. But this is about Trump. This is about the FBI raiding Mar-a-Lagos. Could this be another Epstein's Island? I don't know. Interesting. But this isn't necessarily good news. Sorry, this isn't necessarily bad news. It's definitely interesting, whatever it is. You know? Is Muel frozen for anyone else or just me? Am I losing frames? Not dropped any frames. Give it a refresh. Quill, give it a refresh. Hello, Andy. How you doing? Can I get a shout out for I'm a Coconut, please, Shafiq? How you doing, pal? And hello, Mark Salmons. How you doing? Hello, hello, hello.
To Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
Hi, Amy.
The FBI seized documents from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort and home in Florida. On Monday evening, Trump issued a statement saying, quote, "My beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege."
My beautiful home is under siege. Oh, my God.
Raided and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. They even broke into my...
The deep state swamp, they're coming. They're coming for my hard drive. Can you believe it, folks? Can you believe it?
Safe, he said. Trump was in New York at the time. Multiple news outlets are reporting the FBI...
Yeah, that's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to happen. That's why he's immediately said it like that. That's why he's already said it like that. He's trying to drum up support. He's trying to be like, the deep state officials, they're coming for your president. They're coming for your president, folks. My fellow Americans. You know? Yeah, no tangible result. I concur. Gumba Master. Yeah, but very interesting. Hey, Goblin, what's going on? I want stuff found, but I also do not want a second Epstein's Island to ever exist. Right, listen. You know, that shit does suck, right? That shit does suck. Like, child sex trafficking and all that kind of stuff. But like the reality of the world is that there is gonna be other situations like Epstein's Island going on. Like that is a fact. That is a fact. And it's a sad fact that we kind of have to deal with. It's just this shit just happens so often. Like child sex abuse is such like a big problem. And you can guarantee that there is going to be like another scenario somewhere. And they will have learned things from Epstein's Island. They will have learned mistakes that he made, you know, and learned to cover their tracks a bit better and stuff like that. So anyway, we'll see what's happening. We'll see why Trump is getting raided by the FBI. But, you know, again, regarding this, it is like, you know, Donald Trump is a guy that has sexually assaulted people, like, you know, and I wouldn't put it past him if there were allegations against him for, you know, sexually assaulting a child. In fact, I'm even certain that there are allegations for him sexually assaulting a child. So, you know, it's one of those, right? The funniest thing is if the FBI hadn't actually let the Dems know about this, they likely would have nixed it. Right. Yeah, I think that's probably true. Yeah. I think that's probably true. Yeah, it's more of a Schadenfreude moment. Like, he's getting stressed. Like, you know, any scenario that causes Donald Trump stress is pretty funny to me. Yeah. What did I miss? Survived is here. Hello, Lexi West. Hello, what's going on? I thought he was raided for some documents. Yeah, but what's on those documents? You know, a document can mean anything. It doesn't necessarily mean like a paper. It could mean like files on your computer. It could mean all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean?
I executed a search warrant as part of a probe into whether Trump removed 15 boxes of White House records, including some classified documents after he left office. Such a move might...
So White House sort of, what do they call that? Sensitive material? Compromising material from the White House, possibly?
Constitute a criminal violation of the Presidential Records Act. In response, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy threatened to investigate Attorney General Merrick Garland if Republicans win back control of the House after the midterm elections. This all comes as Donald Trump is facing multiple other investigations over his attempt to overturn the 2020 election. After headlines...
What happens if they discover unrelated incriminating stuff? How does that work? Well, you know, the feds have to decide as to whether they want to prosecute. And then, you know, then it's like, is anything going to happen? Donald Trump is like, what? He's a billionaire, right? Donald Trump? Or he's like 100 millionaire? I don't fucking know. Multi-millionaire, billionaire. I don't know what he is, but he's got a lot of stuff, right? He's got a lot of stuff, and it's likely he'll hire a very good lawyer team or whatever, like, you know, very good, you know, extremely experienced lawyers and shit like that. I don't know. Supposedly this raid was not connected to January 6th. Right, exactly, yeah. If only there were actually consequences for Trump. Right, I don't think there will be. I don't think there will be. I think that the only the reason why I kind of said maybe it might be an Epstein's Island is because I think that would be the only thing that would lose him support amongst his base. But then again, they'll just go vote for Ron DeSantis anyway. CPAC has been absolutely wild. I was watching Real Radhom stream about that earlier today, like cover the CPAC. Yeah, he might be a billionaire. He lies about his finances. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'll get better lawyers than Alex Jones, I imagine. They're gonna have another Perry Mason moment. Also, hi Prince, how you doing? What's going on? And hello Peanut Butter Princess. The base will stick with him all the way through an Epstein Island thing. Do you think? Yeah, I guess I could see that happening. I guess I could see them. I don't know. Again, it depends how deep in the source they are. And again, even if not, it doesn't matter because Ron DeSantis is going to run for president anyway. So that's going to be an interesting debate. That's the only good thing that I think can come out of that, is that debate is going to be extremely entertaining. Like, they're both going to say the most absurd shit that we've ever seen. Right? Yeah, they still support Matt Gaetz. Ignored all of his other shit. They'll claim it's fake or circumstantial. Yeah, probably. Most legitimate concern, are he sexy as sexual assault? His supporters just think the accurate. Yeah. They'll think it's fake.
We'll get the latest with Rob Weissman, president of Public Citizen. The head of Ukraine.
He was running an Epstein Island research into Epstein Islands in order to defeat Epstein Island. Very true. That is exactly what was happening. Thank you very much, Adam. Appreciate that. See, now, beard compliment, absolutely fine when you've been here for a couple of streams. Absolutely fine. Always weird when you do it as a, a first chat message. If they don't think it's fake, they'll find a way to victim blame. Right, yeah. They're trying to bring him down because he's like a big public figure. They want to get some money kind of shit. You know what I mean?
State-run nuclear power company is calling on Russia and Ukraine to adopt a 5-kilometer-wide demilitarized zone around the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant after fighting over the weekend damaged safety equipment at the Russian-occupied site. Petro Kotin said Monday Russia's military had turned Zaporizhzhia into a base used to attack Ukrainian positions and was threatening a disaster that could spread radiation across the globe.
The situation is very
He's just cartoon villain shit.
dangerous.
Putin
We
at this point.
encountered such situation at Chernobyl nuclear power plant, if you remember. But there is a very big difference here. There are 6 power units. All of them are filled with nuclear materials. Also, there are pools with spent nuclear fuel. All of this requires constant cooling at the expense of working pumps. These pumps run on
Again, like another reason as to why nuclear power is not the way forward. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, like, in the utopian vision of the world where, like, capitalism is dead and stuff like that, that there will be, like, lots of fighting, because who knows? But just in general, it's like, oh, yeah, we have to, like, keep the waste. We have to keep the waste in a cooling facility, you know, and that has to stay in there for an unspecified amount of time. You know? I'm no expert, but bombing a nuclear power plant seems like less than ideal idea. Hi, DJ. Yeah, so, well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you take over... Think about this from a military point of view, right? If you take over the base and occupy it with your forces, then they can't attack you, right? The enemy can't attack you, because if they attack you, they could potentially cause a nuclear fallout. And if they and then you also could say will cause a nuclear fallout, or will plant a bomb here, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So it is like actually an extremely powerful strategy. It just sucks that, you know, it's happening in general, right? Hey, a little bit furious how it's going. A little bi-furious. I thought your name was a little bit furious, but now I like your name even more. Yeah, that's very good. How you doing? That makes me just a wee bit anxious. Right, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, the thing is that when they say, you know, nuclear problems all across the globe, they're kind of like talking about the same shit as, like, you know, the Fukuyama plant and shit like that, essentially. I mean, if they blow something up, then there will be like a ton of radiation in the atmosphere as well too. It depends what they do. It depends what they do. Like if they blow it up, then that's gonna be super, super bad. Fukushima, that's it, not Fukuyama, yeah. Fukushima, yeah. Yeah, everything outweighs. All the cons outweigh the pros. I agree. If you turn the entire planet into a nuclear power plant, then no one can attack anyone else. That's a really good point, Video Pheasant. That's a really good point. Just arm everybody with nuclear weapons, and then no one can attack each other. That's yeah.
Electricity.
Ukrainian officials have accused Russia of placing explosive landmines around the power units at Zaporizhia in what President Volodymyr Zelensky called nuclear blackmail. Elsewhere,
it is nuclear blackmail.
Ukraine's military says its forces are advancing on the strategic city of Izium in northeastern Ukraine as part of a counteroffensive aimed at retaking areas under Russian occupation. Meanwhile, the Biden administration said Monday it's sending another $1 billion in military aid to Ukraine, including advanced anti-radar missiles produced by Raytheon. It's the 18th time the U.S. has sent a package of weapons since Russia invaded Ukraine in February.
And it's kind of disgusting, right? Because if you think about it, I don't know. Listen, I don't know the ins and outs of basically saying that, or like putting UK troops on the ground or something like that. I think that the reason they're avoiding that is because they think if they do that, that the US will actually, that Russia will actually launch a nuclear strike. But I just don't know. Right? Yeah. Look who's profiting from this. Yeah, Raytheon. Yeah. Literally. Hey, Sicarius, what's going on? Yeah, it's just really, really bad. Listen, nuclear power under any system is not good. Under any system is not good. Explain the difference between these two ideas for me, right? So coal factories, in whenever they were invented, coal power plants, right? And they go, that's chugging out a lot of black smoke. I wonder what that's going to do to the future. Oh, well, it probably won't affect us, right? And nuclear energy, creating a lot of nuclear waste, are going, not really sure what that does. Oh, well, it won't affect us. Like, there's no difference. Like, you can't be you definitely can't say that you support the climate if you think that nuclear energy is fine in any way. Like, there should be no. And also, it's not renewable. It's just not renewable in any way. And people always try and come in here and say things like, oh, but cold fusion is making leaps and bounds. And it's like, no, it's not. It just simply isn't. Like, we have the technology to make everything renewable. We have the technology to make everything renewable. So that's just the end of it. That's the end of the fucking conversation. Sapphic Vibe says, hi, I'm Saf. I use she, her. I'm an anarchist. I'm a feminist, queer rights activist. I support children's rights and school abolition. How are you today? I'm doing very well. That's the most concise introduction in a Twitch chat I've ever seen. Is this like your first day on Twitch? Is this something you do regularly? Account created June 1st, 2021. Well, welcome in. I've never seen anyone introduce themselves that way, but welcome in. Hello, yes, you're definitely amongst friends here. Until it becomes a wasteless solution, there's no reason not to just transition to renewable, right? Exactly, yeah. Fundamental problem of all these things that are doing is generating heat to boil water to turn turbines. Exactly that. So, anyway.
The Pentagon said Monday as many as 80,000 Russian troops have been killed or injured in the fighting, though that number was impossible to verify. The Palestinian Health Ministry reports Israeli soldiers killed 3 Palestinian men earlier today as they raided a house in the city of Nablus in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. The ministry says at least 40 other Palestinians were wounded in the raid. 4 of them are in serious condition. Israel says none of its troops were injured in the assault, which killed a senior commander with the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade. The latest violence came as a ceasefire held in the Gaza Strip after 3 days of Israeli bombardment bombardment killed at least 44 Palestinians, including 15 children. 350 others were injured. The Palestinian Authority says some 1,500...
J.R. Wolfie says, that's not really true. Nuclear waste is so insignificantly minuscule compared to the outputs of coal, oil, or pretty much any other source. Check out the channel Kyle Hill. Got a good video on it. Spills occur far less frequently. Fuck you. Get out of my chat. You're banned. I don't give a fuck. Welcome to the gulag. Right? Shut the fuck up. You're wrong. Your mate Kyle is wrong, and you're wrong. That's the whole ass fucking reason that I did that whole spiel. That's the whole... Because I knew there would be someone in the chat who thought some shit like that. I knew it. No, that person's not a chud. That person's been in the fucking community for a bit. You know what I mean? And it's disappointing. It's fucking disappointing. Like, when you sit there and you make apologies for nuclear power, when it's literally like, it's minuscule compared to it's minuscule compared to fossil fuels. I didn't say it wasn't. Did you hear me say that it wasn't? Right? So for a start, you've misrepresented what I said. Secondly, you are doing the same thing, as I said previously, that people did when they invented coal-powered fucking power plants. Oh, well, it's not as bad as, like, horses shitting everywhere and, like, we get to have heated homes and stuff, so it's fine. Shut up! Shut the fuck up! God damn! I swear to God. It's like we're looking at nuclear power the same way as we must have started looking at fossil fuels way back when. We have loads of this stuff. Definitely no way we'll run out if we moved our whole economy to run this. Exactly. Like, how do you not understand that we are in a society that tries... No, not a society. A system that tries to make itself run on unsustainable production. It simply cannot happen, right? It simply cannot happen, and I've got to nuke the VOD because I didn't realize there was fucking blood in that picture. Give me a second, chat. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. God fucking damn it. There's another reason. There's another reason to subscribe to the VOD channel, gang. Excuse me. J.R. Wolfie isn't on the Discord, so it isn't a great casualty or anything. I disagree hugely. I disagree hugely. It's extremely disappointing when someone who has based views cannot see the forest for the trees. Like, that's one of the that's one of the most upsetting, disappointing things, because that chatter has been like fine for the majority of the time that they've been here, and they've been here for a while, and then, you know what I mean? Just like not understanding like basic shit like that. Like, you know, it's not my job. It's not my job to like, you know, try and convert that person or like change their ideas. But like, it winds me up so much. It just winds me up so fucking much. God fucking damn it. Let's get rid of that. Boom. See you later. Yes, I do want to get rid of that. So yeah, this is about Palestinians who are, you know, Israel has done an airstrike on Palestine again. If you wanna know how to stop Palestinian imperialism, not Palestinian imperialism, the Israeli genocide of Palestinians from where you are in the world, check out the Red Planet episode that we did this Sunday, because we had on an activist from Palestine Action who has helped shut down with her comrades multiple Elbit Systems factories. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for doing the command in the chat, folks. There you go, right there. Let's just listen to what Amy's got to say, and then when the offending footage has disappeared, we'll bring her back. No, it's all right, Sorker. It's like you know what I mean, like anyone. I don't care whether you're in the Discord or not. I don't care if you're a lurker. I don't care if you're a chatter. Like whatever. like, if you're like a member of this community and you've been here for a while and you are like failing to understand like some extremely basic things about capitalism and how it runs and how it's like entirely unsustainable, right? It's depressing. It's depressing as fuck. Like, what have you learned while you've been here? Have you not learned anything? Have you not fucking, you know? It's just, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's listen to what Amy's gonna say.
Housing units were damaged or destroyed by Israel's weekend assault. This is Mohammed Shamlach, whose family's home in Gaza City was demolished.
I think we're good now.
A ceasefire or not, how will this help us after the fighting?
Is there a good anti-nuclear resource we can recommend? I don't think you need one. I don't think you need one. I think that people who think that nuclear is like the way to go are pandering to capitalism in desperation, and they just need to be told that. They just need to be told nuclear waste exists, right? And it doesn't matter if it's minuscule. It doesn't matter if it, like, doesn't harm the atmosphere. Like, what's it going to harm in the future? And what's it going to harm when everybody on Earth is doing it and churning out more nuclear waste than we currently have? You don't need, like, it's just, it's so simple. It's such a very simple concept. If you understand that fossil fuels are bad, how do you not understand that nuclear waste is also good, also bad? Right? There's a fair bit of effective pro-nuclear stuff out there. There's a fair bit of effective fossil fuel stuff out there. Pro-fossil fuel stuff. Do you know what I mean? The whole green capitalism shtick, like electric cars. Right, exactly, yeah. The current solution for nuclear waste is cover it in cement and hope no one finds it. Right, yeah, they try and like put it in vaults underground. And even then, it depends on like the country that you live in, the state, what the government regulation on nuclear waste is. And like, because we don't know the effects of nuclear waste, like, you know, now, they don't have effective nuclear waste programs. Like we do know the effects of nuclear waste, actually, in some places where they've done that. In the US, there was like that school or some shit where like, you know what I mean? Like the school was like there were like kids getting cancer and stuff. I can't remember. In Germany, we'll put it in old salt mines. Right, yeah. It's bad. There's a lot more effective anti-fossil fuel stuff out there. Well, I guess so, but you know, it should just be included in the fight of anti-fossil fuels. Because even though it's not like a fossil fuel, it's still a non-renewable energy source. You know? Like, people have even started, like, you know, these fucking idiots who run the fucking show have even started saying things like, oh, we need to think about mining asteroids for uranium. Because there's just, like, not a lot of it. Here is your anti-nuclear source. What is this?
This video is sponsored by Klima. After an accident at work,
The man who lived inside a dead body, his family watched for 83 days. Wait, what? What is this? Okay, listen, let's get through the news and then maybe watch this. It's a nuclear Stunlock gang.
When our house was shelled and demolished, who will put it back in its previous state? The leaders have shaken hands. That is fine. But what about the people who lost their homes and who are stranded now? We have relatives who lost their house previously, and now it has happened again.
Here in New York, hundreds of people gathered outside the Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah, meanwhile, free Palestine, gang. Free fucking Palestine. And check out Palestine Action.
Of the group Friends of the Israel Defense Forces Monday for an emergency rally in response to Israel's ongoing assault on Gaza. This is Abdullah Akil of the group Within Our Lifetime, which organized the protest.
This protest is happening all across the country, especially as Gaza is being bombed today and in the last few days. Ceasefire doesn't really mean a ceasefire because, as we know, ceasefires are broken time and time again, especially by apartheid forces. And so we're here saying that ceasefires don't work. We're here fighting for absolute liberation of Palestine.
So, in case you missed all that, those that are hard of hearing, Yeah, basically the guy was saying we're here to protest because a ceasefire doesn't really mean a ceasefire. We know that the okay, all right, you fucking got me. Bearded Manor says, hi, I'm new here. I want to ask you a question. Is your current position that we have the ability to use 100 renewable energy 100% today in place of non-renewables today? Yes. It's a fact. It's an actual fact. It's not my position. It's a fact.
European Union negotiators have put forward a final draft text of a document that would restore the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. President Trump unilaterally pulled the United States from the landmark agreement in 2018, prompting Iran to expand its nuclear activities. On Monday, U.S. and Iranian negotiators wrapped up talks in Vienna, Austria, with a proposal that would see Iran halt the enrichment of some nuclear materials in exchange for relief from sanctions. Negotiations have remained stalled for months, in part due to President Biden's decision to keep Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps on a terrorist blacklist.
God damn.
In immigration news, the Biden administration said Monday it's officially ending the contested Trump-era Remain in Mexico policy and will no longer force asylum seekers to wait in Mexico while their cases are resolved in U.S. courts. The announcement came just hours after a judge lifted an injunction in effect since December, blocking Biden officials from terminating the program, formerly known as the Migrant Protection Protocols.
So does that mean that they're going to just put them in ICE camps instead? They're just going to put them in, you know? Is that, because that's, the, you know, it's still a little bit worrying regardless, right? I mean, you know. Glasgow almost always has free Palestine action happening if you're Scottish and local. Yep, same as Manchester. Wind power in the UK outperforms the Hankley plants, that's right. Scotland could power itself with renewables alone twice, yep. Yeah, Boris approves new oil platforms. They're building new nuclear energy in new nuclear power plants in the south of England and stuff like that.
Or MPP.
In Germany, we produce so much energy, we sell at least 30% of it. Right, exactly.
The Supreme Court ruled in June the Biden administration had the authority to end the policy. Thousands of asylum seekers enrolled in the program have faced kidnapping, torture, rape, and other dangerous conditions while waiting in Mexico.
Like, obviously, it's like horrific that they have to go through this stuff, but are they gonna just go into an ICE detention facility where women are gonna like have non-consensual operations to remove their uteruses and shit like that? You know. And I assume that probably happens to trans men as well, you know what I mean? People with uteruses who are migrants and stuff, like, you know? Oh, God.
A federal court in Brunswick, Georgia, has sentenced the White father and son, Gregory and Travis.
Do you remember the BBC reporting on Scotland falling short on its renewability goal? Like, the goal was 100%. Right. Yeah. And that's what they love to do. And that's why you find fucking nuclear bros all over the place. Like, you find nuclear bros and like things saying like, you know, people saying things like, oh, it's a pipe dream that we can make like 100% renewables and shit like that. It's like, you have been brainwashed. You have been brainwashed. You have listened to the media that is manufacturing your consent to just build more terrible facilities that are going to harm people in the future. You know, you get all the, this is the fucking thing. It's literally like, you know, the establishment is capitalism. The establishment is capitalism. They want to make money. How do they make money? Well, they sell you fucking energy. What's the quickest and fastest way for them to sell you energy? Well, build some nuclear power plants, right? That's it. Build some nuclear power plants. You know, build some fucking coal power plants. Build some oil rigs. Like, you know, we have all the shit done already. The incentive is not that it's cheaper. It's that they already have the infrastructure, like not just the infrastructure, but they have like the processes there in the company to just quickly install these things. What we're seeing right now in the scope of the world is disaster capitalism. We're seeing the late stage capitalism, and they're desperate, right? They're desperate. Well, no, I think Bearded Manor is saying what's the incentive for them to make non-renewable energy rather than renewable energy, right? And capitalism is falling apart before our very eyes. Like, you can see it in like many different countries all over the imperial periphery, even in the UK right now, right? Even in the fucking UK. And they just want to get as much money as possible out of everybody, out of the working class, right? Before they know their time is up. That's literally what it is. It's simply what it is, especially energy companies, because energy companies can feel the pressure of the climate change, you know, resistance to climate change, you know, protests and stuff like that, like direct action. They can feel it. They can feel the pressure. And so they're desperate to just be like, right, let's just extract as much money as we can. The shareholders can then retire. You know, maybe some of the middle management can retire as well, and then that's that. We've done our job, and we can just go to bed, right? And that's literally it. They're terrified of fucking losing, and that's what it is. That's why they want to do it like this. You know what I mean? It's not even that they like could switch to renewable energy, because renewable energy is like, it's fucking. I mean, like, the infrastructure is already there. Like, we have so much renewable energy in the UK. It's entirely possible to replicate that in literally loads of different states. Hey, Lost Futures. Yeah, dams are not good, right? Yeah, we know this. Like, you know, wind and solar are literally like, you know, it's possible to you know, power the entire world with wind and solar. So that's that, really. Short-term solution with short-term outlays, right? The short-term outlays being extract as much value as we can from this dying industry that's on its last legs, basically. I asked a friend who's really into nuclear about this, and apparently thorium doesn't actually produce waste. It's still not renewable, though, and this one doesn't produce waste strikes me incredibly sus. Yeah, but the thorium, what they're talking about is like cold fusion or some shit, right? And cold fusion... Right, there's no viable reaction with thorium, and they can't fucking do it. They literally can't do it. Have you seen the Enough is Enough campaign on Twitter? Mick Lynch and Zara Sultana and other leftists made a video to start a movement to lower energy bills and raise living standards. 100,000 signed up in the first day. Pretty based for this state of an island. What is signing up doing? We have been focusing in the stream on the Don't Pay campaign. The Don't Pay UK campaign, which is like, it's basically trying to get as many people to sign up to say, if energy companies raise energy prices in October, whoever signs up to the scheme will basically stop paying. So I'd love to know like what people are signing up for, regarding that, like what it's going to achieve. Like I've not seen anything about this, basically. There's more base stuff than that happening in the UK, though. Like, there is a lot of solidarity going on at the minute between like anti-fascist groups and trans mutual aid groups, right? There's also a lot of solidarity going on between anti-raid groups and the Renters Union, who I'm on the committee of, the Greater Manchester Tenants Union. You know, there's nothing yet for Enough is Enough. Just we'll contact you when. Right. This is the thing. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, what's the? You know what I mean? I don't understand what the activism is there. I don't understand what they're asking people to do. Why people are signing up for it? Like, I don't understand. But you know, if you've got more information on it, I'm more than happy to check it out.
Michael, to additional terms of life in prison on federal hate crimes charges for the 2020 murder of Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man shot and killed while jogging through a mostly white neighborhood. An accomplice, William Bryan Jr., was sentenced to an additional 35 years. All three men are already serving life sentences in Georgia after they were convicted last November of Arbery's murder.
Get fucked, you fucking lynchers. Absolutely disgusting fascist scum. Rotten piss.
Monday, a judge rejected a bid by the McMichaels to serve their time in federal prison, which they argued would be safer than the state prison where they're being held.
Oh, you're concerned about your safety, are you, mate? Are you concerned about your safety? Weren't so concerned about Ahmaud Arbery's safety, were you? Weren't so concerned about his safety, were you, mate? You know, cry me a river and, I guess, give me a call when you've run out of tears. I don't know.
Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, spoke to reporters outside the courthouse after the sentences were handed down.
Travis chose not to even say that he was sorry.
That's who he is.
So it really showed the court.
He's right. That's who he is. That's who these guys are. They are not sorry for the murder in cold blood of black people. Like, they don't care. You know what I mean? Right, safety. Try walking while trans and brown. Right, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck do you expect? Eat shit and you know the rest. Exactly.
It showed the family. It showed the...
Yeah. Are they afraid because for some reason there's a disproportionately large section of black people in prison? I wonder. I wonder if suddenly they're worried about the consequences of racism. I wonder.
Saying just for what kind of people really took my son away.
In Maryland, the family of Anton Black has reached a $5 million deal to partially settle their wrongful death lawsuit. Anton Black was a 19-year-old African-American teenager who died in 2018 after he was pinned down by 3 white police officers, shackled by the legs, and electrocuted with a taser.
Christ.
A Johns Hopkins physician concluded Anton Black died of asphyxiation. His family sued, saying officers used excessive force and later tried to cover up the killing with false claims that Black was on drugs and showed superhuman strength.
The superhuman strength that you normally exhibit when you are under threat of losing your life. That's like a normal thing that everybody has. You know, when you are getting attacked and you think you're gonna die, normally you will react with every fiber of your being. Like, that's how it fucking works. You know what I mean? Nonsense. Yeah, they're not. Some of these cases aren't just murder. It's literally like you electrocuted a man who was chained by the fucking legs. Yeah. You know? Superhuman strength is so stupid. We murder him, but he was definitely like a superhuman, so it's fine. Right, this is it. Adrenaline. Yeah, literally adrenaline as well. Yeah, lynching, execution, torture, it's just so bad.
As part of the settlement, 3 coastal towns in Maryland have agreed to change their policies on police use of force and will adopt new methods of training officers.
I'm sure the police will adhere to those new training methods.
They say. In Cuba, at least 1 firefighter is dead and 14 people missing after a massive fire at an oil storage facility.
Oh, damn, we heard about this last week.
Tank. Officials say the blaze began late Friday after lightning struck part of the oil depot in the western province of Matanza. It's one of Cuba's worst environmental disasters in decades and threatens to bring rolling blackouts to the island, which relies heavily on imported foreign oil to generate electricity. And in the Philippines, police arrested former vice presidential candidate, scholar, and activist Walden Bello on cyber libel charges. He's since been...
Cyber libel. That sounds to me like, you know...
released after he posted bail last year.
So, hang on a minute. Former vice presidential candidate. So this is in the Philippines.
And activist Walden Bello on cyber libel charges.
So, like, you know, yes, cyber, right? This kind of stinks of, like, the kind of stuff that they're wanting to bring in the UK. Cyber libel sounds like a band name. Yeah, it does. You know, it sounds like telling a Republican or a conservative to eat shit on the internet, on the internet, or like, I cummed in your dad or something like that, and then you get to, like, go to prison for that. You know what I mean? It sounds like that. Yeah, how does it differ from normal libel, right? It's when you make a mean tweet. It's when you make a mean tweet. You've been having a bad day and you made a mean tweet. So you gotta go to prison for that. You gotta go to prison for making mean tweets.
He's since been released
God
after
damn,
he
what is
posted
this world?
bail. Last year, ahead of the presidential election in the Philippines, a member of Vice President Sara
It's not libel,
Duterte's
it's just true, that's
campaign,
right.
Jeffrey Tupas, filed a cyber libel complaint against Bello over statements he allegedly made about Tupas on social media. Sara Duterte is the daughter of former President Rodrigo Duterte, whose government has been accused of severe human rights violations and repression against critics and journalists.
Wow. So, you know, the government that is known for human rights violations and repression against critics put a guy in prison for making a mean tweet. Yep. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that this was. I knew that that was where this was coming from. I knew it.
On Twitter, Walden Bello wrote, quote, "These people are mistaken if they think they can silence me and suppress my exercise of free speech," he said. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!,
There it is.
democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report.
Everybody say thank you, Amy.
Joined by Democracy.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy. We did it, gang. We got through
A
the
man
news.
was...
Oh, yeah. Let's do this shit. Let's do this shit. Nuclear energy is still bad. That's going to be the new title for the stream, chat. I'm going to bring in so many fucking nuclear bros. I'm going to bring in so many fucking nuclear bros. Nuclear energy is not the solution. Hello, Smutty Baba Yaga. How are you doing? So, content warning. Is there a content warning? Yeah, thank you, Quill. You also have a good video if we need it. This is the way that the stream's going today, JMM. So yeah, chuck it in the chat. Lots of medical trauma. Okay. Is there like death as well? Because then I'll just put medical trauma and death. If nuclear power is bad, then explain She-Hulk. You know what? You got me there, Gumba Master. You fucking got me there. Hi, Layla. What's going on? How was your Pride? We've not had Pride yet in Manchester. Manchester Pride happens at the end of the month. But June was good. June was an okay month, you know, all things considered. But welcome in. Stand ready to repel nuke bros. Let's fucking go, Shafiq. Let's fucking go. So medical trauma / death, right? Okay. As a cyborg goth, I'm immune to nuclear power bros. That's fucking right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, let's check out this as well. Wendover Productions.
This video was made possible by Brilliant.
Like, I get so fucking mad about fucking nuclear energy shills. It's like, who's paying you, man? Like, who's paying you to have this, like, bad, uninformed opinion? Do you know what I mean? So we got 2 nuclear waste-based videos to watch here. This first one is called "The Man Who Lived Inside a Dead Body His Family Watched for 83 Days." I've never heard of Brew, but thank you very much for pointing me in this content creator's direction, Quill. Appreciate that. Not gonna promote them just yet because they might make a terrible video. I don't fucking know. If Quill likes them, it probably means that it's good.
Transported to the hospital.
Let's find out, and then I'll drop a link in the chat. How about that?
For severe radiation poisoning. He recalled.
Hold up.
This video is sponsored by Klima.
Klima.
After an accident at work, a man was transported to the hospital for severe radiation poisoning. He recalled seeing a blue flash and throwing up immediately afterward.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, already this is absolutely nuts.
At first, medical staff believed he was fine. One even thought he would be well enough to leave the hospital. Despite his outward appearance, the man's body was slowly changing, pushing doctors to apply a number of experimental procedures to save what was left.
Why does this sound like... This literally just kind of sounds like Akira.
Of him. The human body is perhaps the most complex machine on Earth. An urban...
Okay, I get kind of mad. Okay, I just want to... This is a nitpick. This is a nitpick, right? This is a nitpick. I really don't like it when people call the human body a machine. Because there's a lot of hubris to that statement, isn't there? Right? Like, to imply that, like, anything that we could create could be as complex as the human body is kind of like a little bit like, what? Do you know what I mean? I don't like it being called a machine. I just don't like it because it's not a machine. It's not something that someone's made. You know what I mean? It's not been crafted in a lab. It's not been, you know, it's just a really... I had another thought about this a while ago. I was feeling like particularly smart, and I just remember being in the kitchen doing something, and then it was like, why do people keep saying that like the human body is a machine? It's not a machine. You know what I mean? It's a complex system for sure. Yeah. And also I guess it implies that like we're machines and that everybody should like be able to like work a lot and do all the same things and like blah, blah, blah. You know, it's pretty ableist. It's pretty like short-sighted. It's got ideas of hubris behind it. It's religiously charged, right? It implies an intelligent creator, yeah. And the ableism, yeah, for sure. Machines are man-made. This man cannot be made of them, right? Exactly. The human body is made up of a lot of complex systems working with each other. Well, that's the right way to say it, you know? And it implies a specific purpose too, you know? Personally, I'm a bird, not a machine. Still close though. Yeah, true, because birds aren't real. Anyway, next.
Myth says that your cells replace themselves every 7 years, leaving behind the old you for a completely new person.
That is apparently not true as well.
Although we're capable of healing ourselves to a certain extent, this is not completely true. What would happen if we lost the ability to regenerate cells?
Oh my god, Joe, you're a machine because you got Tetsuo'd. That's fair enough. Hi, Joe. How you doing? Machines aren't real either. Good point.
Before our body is no longer considered alive. This is the story of Hisashi Ouchi, the most irradiated man in history, his family who couldn't let him go, and his 3-month-long battle for survival in a body falling apart at the seams.
Damn, what the fuck? I kind of like the whole shtick of this channel. It's like a brew. You put the, you know, you put the video on when you watch it when you got a brew. You got a cup of tea sitting down, you know? Oh, okay, here we go. Today's episode concerns the science of nuclear power, the treatment of radiation poisoning. As always, we recommend if you have any questions, speak with experts. There you go.
And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Nuclear energy is one of the ways for us as a species to wean off fossil fuels. And nowadays, reducing our carbon footprint is more important than ever.
No.
Hey, you look different. Thanks to Klima, the sponsor of our video, the actions of climate-conscious individuals everywhere, we're closer than ever to the best timeline. Klima? What's that?
No, go away. Go away.
Other projects.
I fucking, honestly, I can't stand companies like that. They're like, yeah, you just sign up to our £5 a month program and you log your carbon emissions through our app. Excuse me. And then, yeah, then we'll solve climate change. It's nothing to do with the billionaires who keep building fucking oil rigs. You know what I mean? Green capitalism. Yeah, so bad. Yeah, remember Encona? Replace Google with us for trees. Right, yeah, it's so bad. Klima is paying these people to shell nuclear. Wait, what? Oh, to shill nuclear. Yeah.
Projects that improve lives across the world.
German company.
I do want to learn more and go funding. So to
fuck off. If everybody in the world went climate neutral, yeah, you know, with like everything that was under their control, we would still have climate change. These companies appeal to white guilt. Well, I don't think it's white guilt exactly, because I don't think that, like, the majority of white people feel guilty about... I don't even think the majority of white people are aware of the amount of shit that people in the imperial periphery have to deal with as a consequence of life in the imperial core. But I do think that it appeals to the idea that, like, capitalism tells you all that it's your fault. Do you know what I mean? It's our fault. You know, like, capitalism tells you it's your fault that you're poor. You didn't pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And, like, capitalism also tells us it's your fault that climate change is happening because you don't recycle. You keep buying, you know, products that are cheaper because we make them cheaper for you and therefore damage the planet easier. I was thinking about this today. When I was talking to Sorka in the Discord about, like, you know, these, what are they called? Forever chemicals and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I was thinking, like, okay, I would love to use products that don't, basically, like, get tested on animals, or B, like, they don't produce toxic waste and shit like that. Like, all these different reasons as to why I should, like, go and do my shopping at somewhere like Lush, right? And stuff like that. And then it's like, yeah, but, like, if I buy the same stuff in the same amounts that I need from Lush, it's like 3 times as expensive. How am I supposed to afford that? And why should I feel bad about being poor? I'm poor because capitalism, right? And I'm not going to feel bad about the fact that, like, that's literally the only way I can survive. Like, what the fuck you know what I mean? What the fuck can I do? It's just absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Of course I'm going to buy a £1 Radox fucking shower gel because it's £1. You know what I mean? Like, I need it. I just need it to live. Like, it's so ridiculous. The rainwater is going to have so many forever chemicals. Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's so absurd. Like, capitalism really just, like, you know, it just really pisses me off. It really pisses me off. Yeah, it's not our fault we can't afford these climate-friendly solutions. It's just so shit. It's so shit. You know, this is it. It's capitalism's fault. So, anyway, that's what I have to say about that.
Across the globe, help the environment.
It's a mixture of white savior and white guilt. I agree. That's probably more, more accurate.
Place. It's a win-win-win.
Right.
I've been trying to use less energy heating my home. I even got solar panels last year. That's great. Klima's priority is to help us...
Fuck off.
1988.
Okay, we're back to the video.
Small Japanese fishing village of Tokai. It was operating.
Yeah, the fucking nerve of capital trying to sell solutions to the problems that it created. Yeah, it makes me sick. Makes me actual sick. Right? You know. God, it's so bad. Yeah, make products that destroy the planet and then sell them cheaper. That's literally what happens.
Created by JCO, formerly known as the Japan Nuclear Fuel Conversion Company, established in 1979. For 10 years, the nuclear plant supplied sundry research and experimental reactors for the Japanese scientific community, but wasn't part of the actual energy grid. The plant produced up to 3 tons of enriched uranium per year up until the accident in September 1999. Workers would dissolve uranium oxide powder using nitric acid in a dissolution tank, then pump the resulting substance, now called uranium.
That in general just seems so bad. Just like, workers just put a bunch of uranium in a pot and then, you know, put another chemical in it, in there with that, and yeah, you just do that. You just do that by hand. That just sounds so dangerous. Yellow cake, is that what they call it? Yeah, that's right, Adam. Capitalism and climate change are inextricably linked. Yeah, 1000%. This guy's so chipper about it because, I don't know, what, has he got like a 1.6 million subscribers? This video's got 3 million views. Because this person knows they're getting fucking 3 million views on this video that he's making, you know?
uranyl nitrate into a storage column.
I don't know,
with
Lev, but welcome to the stream. How you doing?
reaction-preventing geometry for mixing. Then, workers would pump the no exothermically reacting uranyl nitrate into a precipitation tank surrounded by water to cool it off, keeping it from hitting critical mass.
New flavor from Betty
However,
Crockett, yellow
a measly
cake.
3 years prior, in 1996, the company's standards had been changed without the express clearance of the Japanese Energy Authority.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that yellow cake was like the things that you get in the urinals.
Change that would have a significant
In the
impact
pea trough.
on the workers tasked to mix the nuclear material.
Hey Dave, what's going
Instead
on?
of dissolving the uranium oxide in the dissolution tank, workers were to just do it in stainless steel buckets to speed up the process.
Oh, what the fuck is even more dangerous?
In addition to that, it was modified further, trading safety for speed by pouring the uranyl nitrate directly into the precipitation tank. Instead of
It's like when you watch The Simpsons, right? Okay, so The Simpsons is problematic for like various different reasons, right? But like the commentary that it has on nuclear power, like is so fucking correct. It's literally so correct. They literally just hire like John Homer Simpson, right? Do you know what I mean? Like just average Homer fucking Simpsons, yeah. And they just like shove him into this like incredibly dangerous society with incredibly dangerous factory with like no training, little to no training. And they're just like, yeah, just like mix the fucking shit together and then put it in the thing. And then there you go. It's nuclear energy. You don't need to wear a thing. You know what I mean? Facility is the word. That's right. Yeah. God damn it. You only know about yellow cake because you played Metal Gear Solid 5? I've never even heard it before. Who needs to give workers human conditions anyway? Am I right, nuclear bros? Right, exactly.
mixing
So
the substance
fucked.
in the storage column, it would happen in the precipitation tank instead.
I think that they mix everything with stainless steel because like stainless steel doesn't rust. I think that's the thing.
Bypassing the systems intended to prevent criticality. Put simply, workers were asked
That's
to
all right,
ignore
Cole.
the
Welcome
first
back.
and second tanks, the ones made specifically to prevent accidents, dissolve the uranium by hand, and then pour it into the final tank like it was a uranium latte.
That's nuts.
Sounds safe,
That's
doesn't
fucking nuts.
On the morning of the 30th of September, 1999, nuclear workers Hisashi Ouchi and Masato Shinohara were mixing up a batch of fuel, while their supervisor, Yutaka Yokokawa, sat at his desk about 4 meters away. Ouchi and
This is nuts how this just happened, right? This is just like absolutely absurd how this shit just happens. You know what I mean? Like nuclear bros are just like, oh yeah, nuclear energy, really, really good. Really, really good idea. This is what happens with nuclear under capitalism, right? You know. But this is the thing, like, you know, like, this is why I go so hard on this. This is why I go so hard on this. Like, Chernobyl didn't happen under capitalism, right? Nuclear energy is just bad in every scenario. It's just too unstable. It's too fucking dangerous. And, you know what I mean? Like, the fucking, you know? Yeah, it did. Chernobyl was literally in, like, Ukraine. What are you talking about? Oh, was it after the Berlin Wall fell? Wait, hold up. When did Chernobyl happen? The Soviet Union was just a different flavor of capitalism. Yeah, but that's wrong. What are you talking about? That's entirely incorrect. Like, the Soviet Union was not capitalism. Like, where have you got that from? Where are you getting that from?
Shinohara were supposed to mix up 2.4 kilos of enriched uranium.
Very late USSR.
But instead, they were manually mixing up 16 kilos of the nuclear.
Everything was privately owned by party officials. Right, sure. I know what you mean. But essentially, regardless, it doesn't matter what system that you have nuclear energy under. Yeah, okay, state capitalism. Right, sure. Yeah, fair enough then. Fair enough. But at the same time, it still produces so much waste. Do you know what I mean? So it's not good under any system. It's literally not good under any system. Yeah, oligarchy for the enrichment of the elite. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Nuke energy under anyone is dangerous. Yeah.
Nuclear substance in the aforementioned steel buckets. This was, as we mentioned before, wildly dangerous. Then, at 10:35 a.m., a blue flash erupted from the middle of the room, and all three men were overcome in a wave of nausea. The flash was what's called Cherenkov radiation, which is light that is emitted when electrically charged particles pass through a medium faster than light can.
What the fuck?
In this case, the water in the precipitation tank slowed down light, but not the now reactive uranium particles. Then, suddenly, flash, followed by a wave of gamma radiation. Their co-workers quickly jumped into action, donning hazardous material suits before bolting into the room to rescue the three men and
they were looking pretty sus right there. They were looking pretty sus.
Rushed them to a local hospital. There, they determined the levels of radiation that each of the men were exposed to. Sieverts are used to measure the impact of low levels of radiation on the human.
Yeah, I think that's why it's called Cherenkov radiation, right? It's literally called Cherenkov radiation because of Chernobyl.
Body. For reference, the typical dosage of radiation that Chernobyl workers who died within a month of exposure was 6 sieverts.
Yeah, why are they not wearing hazmats when they're working? This is the whole thing. This is the whole thing.
While the highest non-lethal exposure is about 1
Oh, it was called that before?
Yokokawa, Owuchi's supervisor, received the least at 3 sieverts. Shinohara received 10 sieverts, and Owuchi received the most, a whopping 17 sieverts. Soon after arriving at a local hospital, medical staff decided that they were ill-equipped to help Owuchi, transferring him to the Tokyo University Hospital, where more experimental methods could be attempted. Dr. Maikawa, the lead doctor in Owuchi's case, heard about the accident on the news in the afternoon of the first day and was selected for the role because of his expertise in emergency radiation medicine. He said in an interview that he noticed the staff of the NIRS, National Institute of Radiological Sciences, wore protective suits and masks. Therefore, I suspected the degree of the contamination might have been quite high. Dr. Maikawa noted that the amount of radiation that Owuchi was exposed to was definitely fatal, but when Owuchi met the team, he actually looked fine. He was able to speak and respond to the
"Oh yeah, it looks fine, it's probably okay, just leave him, it's probably normal."
Medical staff. One nurse tending to Owuchi said that his skin was reddish, as if he had got a terrible sunburn. His arm was badly swollen, and he said he had a pain in that area. And another said that she thought that he would be well enough to leave the hospital. Despite this, the radiation began penetrating the chromosomes of his cells. Chromosomes contain the blueprints of our genetic information. They provide the code that tells our cells when and how to reproduce. However, now that Owuchi's cells were being destroyed by radiation exposure, his chromosomes were likewise damaged until they could no longer reproduce. The first sign of chromosome destruction appeared in his blood. His white blood cell numbers were dropping drastically. Now, something as little as the common cold could spell disaster. He was quickly moved to a sterilized room, where he would lie alone for weeks to make sure that didn't happen. And Dr. Maikawa and his team began searching for a possible cell donor that could give Owuchi's body the ability to produce its own white blood cells once more. Almost miraculously, one of Owuchi's siblings was that donor. Dr. Maikawa and his team collected her blood, then extracted their blood stem cells over the
This is why you gotta give blood if you can, chat. Giving blood is extremely based and good.
Course of 9 hours.
Save somebody's life.
For 2 days straight. Her cells were then
I kinda wanna give blood soon.
Transplanted into Owuchi with hopes that his body would accept them and produce white blood cells once again to improve his
What was the show where somebody went to give blood and was like, "All right, I'm gonna get like £20 for giving blood, and then I can get like a bag of weed or something," and then it was in the UK, and they were like, no, you give blood for free here, you don't get paid for it. Is that like Peep Show or something?
Immune response.
They still have to tell them I'm not gay in order to give blood. I think they changed the laws in some countries about that. I don't know. Blood and plasma. Yeah, give the plasma as well. Yeah. Can you donate on PrEP? I actually don't know. Again, it depends. If you're queer, if you're like, yeah, it's harder as like a trans person or as a gay person. Right, they changed the guidelines in the UK. Wait, can I give blood because I've got herpes? Because I was thinking about donating sperm, but they were like, you can't donate sperm if you've got herpes. You tried to give blood once and you nearly passed out? Oh my god, goblin. Goblin, holy shit. It's to do with how recently you had anal sex now. I have anal sex all the time. I'm not gonna just like not have sex with my partner. So this sucks. This fucking sucks. God damn it. God damn it. They include it in the pre-screening. That's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. If you've received blood, you might not be allowed to donate anymore because of mad cow disease. Yeah, I heard about that. I bet they don't ask women. I mean, I think they definitely ask trans women. But I don't think they would ask, like, even queer women, probably. People are afraid that you'll infect them with the gay. Well, it's the people are afraid that you'll infect them with HIV. And here's the thing as well, chat, right? Having HIV is not good. It's not an ideal situation. It sucks that the disease spread that much. But, like, you can have HIV and we have the medicine for it now that it literally isn't, like... It's not even a thing. Like, it doesn't even affect your life, right? It's so, like... The retrovirals that they give you when you have HIV are so powerful that it makes it, like, non-existent. There is so much stigma around HIV still. It's absurd. Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, just scream for HIV. Straight people have that as well. Exactly, yeah, exactly. So silly. Oh, God. Can't believe it, honestly. Excuse me. There are good medicines now which I believe make it non-transmissible. Yes, I've had sex with people with HIV with no condom. And you can't catch it. You can't catch it. What if the anal isn't with a flesh part? Well, there you go. Who knows? Who knows? It's just if you did something a bit gay. Like, if you watched RuPaul's a couple of weeks ago, you can't give blood. You can't. You simply can't. I want to give blood, and the whole time I'm like, can't wait to ass fuck like mad when I'm done. Right, exactly.
It took 10 days to discover if the procedure worked. In that time, he was able to speak to his loved ones and familiarize himself with the nurses tending to him. One nurse asked him how he met his wife. He told me that they had known each other since high school and they had married after about 7 years. Later, she remarked that she was impressed by his story and told him, "You married with a passionate love." The radiation started to show itself on the surface of Ouchi's body. Another nurse, describing how they adhered to gauze, IVs, and other medical equipment, remarked that it became more...
Go into the blood bank with a plug-in like, no sir, I've never had anal sex. Just walking into the blood bank with a guy hanging off your cock, being like, no, I've never fucked a guy, ever. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm giving. I'm the top, so I'm not gay. I can give blood, but he can't.
More and more frequent that his skin was ripped off along with the removed tape. Eventually,
just the mouth. The mouth is
surgical
fine.
tape anymore. There is a photograph that nearly all sources for this story use, claiming to be Ouchi in the hospital. This is not Ouchi. It's nearly impossible to find the original image, but it is not Ouchi. The man in this photo has had his right foot amputated, and Ouchi did not. At the same time, Dr. Maikawa was trying to convey just how dire Ouchi's situation was to his grieving family. He said, his appearance was changing drastically, so I had his family see his condition in order for them to accept the truth. Ouchi's lungs began retaining fluids, making his breathing difficult to the point that medical staff considered putting him on a ventilator. This would mean he wouldn't be able to speak to his family. At the time, staff noted Ouchi's words, things like, "I can't stand it," and "I want to go home." He even cried out for his mother. One nurse said later that seeing that kind of scene made our hearts ache. It was true that nobody knew for sure what would happen to him. but we were able to imagine that his condition would get worse.
Radiation is a special kind of horror. A special kind of horror, yeah.
Worse and worse. Soon after, Dr. Maikawa was forced to put Uchi on a ventilator. He wasn't breathing, so they inserted a tube into his windpipe. But
what do you mean? What do you mean the animations are so dumb? They're trying to be evocative. I mean, you know, the content is like, this is like very serious content. Do you know what I mean? And I guess the cartoons make it a little silly. Do you know what I mean? And I imagine that the cartoons in this person's previous work. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like a bunch of water just dropping in the lungs. Yeah. They're trying to keep it slightly lighthearted, yeah, but it doesn't work for most people. You know what I mean? It's like, this is like extremely messed up. The tone is off. Yeah. Reminds you of South Park. I mean, yeah, the kind of like, well, that's the animation style for sure, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, just sort of like, not a lot of animation at all.
Despite this, Uchi's family still visited him every day. A common practice in Japanese culture.
And also, I guess it's like South Park in the way that they're like covering a really serious topic with absolutely no grace whatsoever. Like, you know, no charitable read or anything like that. Just being like horrific about it. So yeah, you know.
Senbazuru, the act of folding 1,000 origami cranes, is thought to provide good health to the seriously ill. Since Uchi's white blood cell count was so low, they couldn't bring any of the cranes into his room, but they folded them all the same. 10 days had passed since Uchi's blood transfusion, and his blood was tested to see if his siblings' white blood cells had successfully implanted in his body. Peering into a microscope, Dr. Maikawa spotted 2 red dots in one of his blood cells. The chromosomes had survived. It was the first time that white blood cells producers had been successfully implanted into a victim of radiation.
I just have no concepts of going through that much pain. You know what I mean? I might be in the group with it this is aimed at because I really like the tweet imagery with Grim as Fuck story. Me personally, I don't mind it either. I can understand why people wouldn't like this, but I'm personally fine with it. Do you know what I mean?
White blood cell count was increasing back to normal levels. He was still intubated, so he couldn't speak, but he was able to respond to his family's calls with gestures. A week later, however, small mutations were discovered in his blood. The chromosomes that Dr. Maikawa had implanted in Uchi were damaged. Doctors believe that the radiation in his body was so intense, some cells mutated harshly, causing his own cells to emit radiation on their own.
Like, this is the thing. Like, this is the fucking thing. Like, yeah, like, this is what radiation does to you. This is like Hulk shit. It's like,
hello, my old chum.
It's so bad. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, like, how does this even work? Like, we just don't know enough shit about radiation. Like, this was only 20 odd years ago. You know what I mean? Think about that, chat. It's only 20 odd years ago. What do they mean radiation in his body? What was he irradiated by? Did you not see the start of the video? He like literally was mixing uranium. Mixing fucking uranium in how is it? In an unsafe container. Not an expert, but as I understand it, gamma mutates you horribly. Right, exactly, yeah. Exactly. Gamma radiation doesn't just stay there. No, but it has obviously mutated his cells. Obviously. Yeah, not looking good.
Uchi's worsening condition was not limited to just his skin and blood. The cells walling his intestines began to die as well, and without the ability to replace them, it would only be a matter of time until the bacteria in his guts made their way into his bloodstream, threatening sepsis. In the weeks following this development, the amount of diarrhea Uchi produced increased every day, up to 3 liters per day.
Okay, come on, man. With this footage, this is stupid. Uchi was making so much diarrhea, and it's just like a tap from Flint, Michigan. Jesus Christ, come on.
His intestines began bleeding, filling his stool with blood.
Making the same face.
He was losing so much blood that there were days where he received more than 10 blood transfusions in half a day.
Damn.
Ouchi was moved to a bed that could...
Yeah, the sad reality is that they were probably like, this guy was probably a high priority because they were like, okay, what we gotta do is we gotta like find out how to stop this shit from happening in the future. Do you know what I mean?
Tilt, made for critically ill patients to aid his circulation. His body was covered almost entirely with gauze, and his eyes began bleeding. Another nurse described his condition at the time, saying
eyes
that
began bleeding.
There was a lot of exudate in his skin. It took almost half a day to treat it.
Yeah, like, yeah, this is the thing. I don't think it's questionable that, like, his own cells started to produce radiation, because if you get exposed to radiation, or if, like, things get exposed to radiation, like that's why radiation is in materials like uranium, because there was, like, an absurd amount of radiation during the Big Bang, right? That's the theory, you know?
Exudate meaning body weeping, aka his body was seeping moisture. Ouchi was also given a ton of narcotics to help him manage his pain. But despite that, he still
that's not the reason.
Suffering terribly. At this point,
is radioactive stuff on our planet not radioactive because radiation comes from the sun and like the Big Bang? That's not where radiation comes from. Okay, fair enough. I'm not an expert. Uranium is radioactive because it's a heavy element. Right, okay.
Ouchi was losing around 10 liters of water a day, just through his skin and intestines. So it became imperative that they replenish the same amount of water each day.
Damn, that's
With the
nuts.
level of devastation, the only...
It's because the elements are unstable. Right, okay, right, sure. But then it produces radiation, and then radiation is kind of like that's why they say things are contaminated, innit? That's why they say things are contaminated, because if you've come across something that's radioactive, you will be contaminated, and you can like give other people radiation poisoning as well, innit? Comes from subatomic changes, right? Okay, yeah. Internal structure of atoms and how they interact with the world, right? Nebula of massive neutron stars near subatomic changes. You could benefit from anti-nuclear resources we were looking for earlier, because like I'm no expert. I'm anti-nuclear, but this is very basic stuff. No, but like listen, it's dead simple. Like I agree. Now I agree, right? Because I think content like this is pretty good. But secondly, I don't really need to know all of this stuff. I'm just learning along with this, right? I'm just fucking learning along with chat. That's why I'm asking chat. That's why we're all learning stuff together here, right? I'm just kind of interested in like why radiation works the way that it works in this way, because this is like really fucked up. But I don't need to be educated on like why nuclear is bad. Like I know the basic shit. Right? Yeah, it's not basic if you haven't studied physics, right? Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a reach to say it's basic stuff. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a reach to say that it's basic, like. Yeah, the issue is in the principles. Yeah. Make a nuclear reaction, they fire an electron at a substance that's already unstable, but for a lot of it goes where it wants to go. Right, okay, sure. Yeah. Right, this is a bit more advanced than high school physics, right? High school physics for me was like Isaac Newton had an apple fall on his fucking head. You know? You made it as far as a first year undergrad. See, I've got no fucking idea, right? Got no fucking idea, me personally.
The only option left was a skin transplant.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that there's long-lasting harmful byproducts doesn't require a physics degree. That's my point, yeah.
Staff cultivated skin cells in vitro, then grafted it to his body. However, Dr. Maikawa noted that...
And like the way that they're desperate, that they're like absolutely desperate to try and like save this guy, and they're doing so many things, like they're trying so much stuff. It's like, I don't care about how it all works. It's obvious that this happened because he was exposed to that Cherenkov radiation, right? And if that's like a potential thing that could just like happen, in a nuclear facility, in a nuclear power plant, then yeah, that's another reason as to why it's bad. There's already the reason that it's bad that I already have that makes me anti-nuclear. But like, okay, like I don't need to know all the science of it. I'm just trying to like learn a bit. But like just seeing this in general is like, yeah, this does not change my mind. You know?
Cultured skin didn't adhere to his body because of his deteriorating condition. While it was obvious that Ouchi's chances were slim, according to another member of the team, if somebody had said that aloud, if somebody had had doubts about the active intervention in his life and the doubts had spread across the team, we would have lost sight of our purpose. What the hell are we doing?
Herminator 3 says, it's literally not more advanced. They teach about biology and DNA structure in like 9th grade. An atomic structure elemental reaction in chemistry. Right. But have you considered that I don't like you? Even though I'm shagging your dad and I'm your new stepdad, we got a lot of issues that we're going to have to work through. I'm sorry. Cummed all in your dad's ass. Blah, 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 all that shit. Don't care.
For whom? For what? I guess we were afraid of having that kind of thought.
Don't care. Don't test me. Don't test me. Don't test me today. Like that. If you're learning anything from like who I'm banning today and why I'm banning them, today's the day that you don't test me. I don't give a shit. If you're new in the chat and your first thing is like, actually, I learned that shit in 9th grade. Great, dude. Great. Like, you fucking, like, absorbed more information from the school that you went to in 9th grade. I'm sorry that not all of us could afford to go to a fucking fancy fucking private school where, like, you know, they teach you all this fucking shit. Like, shut the fuck up. Right? They literally don't teach you anything about radiation. Do you know what I mean? And also, do you know how old I am? I'm 32. I'm fucking 32, mate. The one thing that I learned about radiation was like, it comes from the sun. You know? It's literally not more advanced than 9th grade chemistry. 9th grade physics. For a start, you've told on yourself when you say the words 9th grade. Because in the UK, we call that year 9. Or not even year 9. Like, we call that like year 7 or some shit. Do you know what I mean? Right, what the fuck is a 9th grade? What the fuck is a 9th grade? Like, you've already told on yourself. You went to a different school in a different country than me. And most of the people in the chat, right? What age is 9th grade? Who knows? Who knows what that is? You learned some of it in the physics classes that I opted to take. Right, exactly. In some places, you could just, like, not go to physics class. I don't think this person even went to school. They're making up shit like 9th grade. Yeah. I don't know what a 9th grade is. I was homeschooled. Right, exactly, yeah. If you're going to be afraid of any and all radiation, then you're going to be one anxious guy. Well, here's the thing. I'm not afraid of any and all radiation. I don't know where you've got that from. Don't know where you've got that from, you know? Like, I'm aware that, like, radiation comes with the sun, and there's different types of radiation. There's, like, radiation in microwaves and shit like that. Like, I know about that shit. That's the shit I learned. That's the shit I just learned about, like, the different types of radiation, right? I just learned about the different types of radiation. I learned about, like, what is it? It's, like, infrared. I bet even this is wrong. Infrared, ultraviolet, gamma, beta, alpha, or some shit. You meant in general? Oh, okay, right, fair enough. Yeah. I did like quantum physics and E&M, but I only learned the basics of like how a nuclear reactor works. That's crazy. 15 years ago, wow. You haven't used your physics education at all since graduating? The reason that I hate dudes like that in general, like people like that who like come in the chat and they say shit like, it's literally basic shit, is because it's really implying like, you know what I mean? That like, oh, I'm smarter than you, so I'm better than you. Like, that's where that comes from, especially when it's like a new person in the chat, you know? Alpha and beta radiation is different from those other ones you listed. Right, exactly. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about. Right, I don't remember any of this shit. Anything at a non-absolute zero temperature is radioactive. Right, it's like heat and shit. That shit is like, yeah. Hey, Funky Spider, what's going on? They keep saying nuclear fission reactors are safe, and then they point at accidents like 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl. They say, ooh, modern reactors are so much safer, and then Fukushima. Right, exactly. They still make excuses. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I agree. Is there sigma radiation? Yeah, it's my cum. My cum exudes sigma radiation, and it infects that guy that just got banned's dad.
Another nurse added,
Fucking
I
cope and
couldn't
seethe.
endure doing the treatment if I hadn't had the conviction.
What about ligma radiation? Ligma balls?
To protect his life. Almost 2 months had passed since the incident, and after the massive blood loss and amount of transfusions, his heart was beating at a blistering 120 beats per minute constantly, about twice as fast as a resting heart rate. It was as if
a plant in Hankley had to be closed down this decade? Holy shit.
he was running a marathon.
Bofa
all day,
radiation.
every day. One morning,
Dragon radiation.
Dr. Maikawa was doing his rounds when he saw it. A monitor displaying Owuchi's condition showed that his heart had stopped. Dr. Maikawa bolted to Owuchi's room to start CPR. By the end of the day,
I like, you know, when someone is like that irradiated and shit like that, it's like, it scares the shit out of me because, like, how weak is that person? Like, are you going to be able to do CPR? Obviously, they're able to do CPR in it, but the first thing that I thought was, like, his hand's going to go into his chest like the guy in The Thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Owuchi's heart had stopped and started 3 times. He was still alive, but the effects of his multiple heart failures were taking their toll on the rest of his body. He was no longer conscious enough to respond. Dr. Maikawa said, some of the staff members, including me, had a feeling that we shouldn't continue the treatment anymore. However, Mr. Owuchi's family didn't give up hope for his recovery until the very end. Beside his medical bed, his mother called out for him, "Hisashi, hold on," while his father leaned in close to give him some words of encouragement.
damn, I wouldn't be going anywhere near this guy. I hate to be like a piece of shit, but like these doctors are brave as fuck. I'm not going anywhere near this guy. If he's like exuding radiation, no fucking way, pal. Like, that's terrifying.
Never give up.
Hope can be a poison. Yeah, it can. It can.
Things were only
You
going
have to do
get worse.
CPR.
His immune cells malfunctioned and began attacking his own body. He needed to undergo even...
Yo, isn't that what happens with like COVID? That's what happens with COVID, isn't it? Like when you've had COVID for so long. You know? Yeah, his family didn't want to let him go, which is still toxic, right? It's still toxic, but
more blood transfusions to keep his body from tearing itself apart. Dr. Maikawa admitted that there were no workable solutions. My honest feeling was that...
Yeah, like with COVID, like because it was like such a... It's really not. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm fucking absolutely certain that I read this. COVID causes cells to attack the body. Oh, you're on about radiation poisoning being contagious. Is that what you're on about? Yeah, so like I don't know about WebMD. I don't know about fucking WebMD, but like I've heard this a couple of times in a different, like from a different few places. Okay. So the coronavirus latches a spike surface proteins to receptors on healthy cells, especially those in your lungs. Specifically, the viral proteins bust into cells through ACE2 receptors. Once inside, coronavirus hijacks healthy cells and takes command. Eventually, it kills some of the healthy cells. And, like, there was a lot of people who died in the sort of first wave of COVID because they basically, like, their own immune cells, their own immune response cells were like attacking, what do you call it? Like immune defense, like white blood cells? I don't know. Their own immune response, right, was basically destroying more of the lung than like COVID did, essentially, because like you're immune. That's COVID destroying your cells. No, COVID is infecting the cells, right? That description is how viruses work in general. Oh, right. Yeah, you're on about like coronavirus. Yeah. Hold up. I might be able to find more about this. Okay, whatever. This is like not worth the Stunlock. Like, it's just not. It's something to do with the viruses hijacking the healthy cells. But then also, cytokine storm, the immune overreaction to the infection. That's sounds like what I heard. I'm not sure about the cytokine storm thing, but like the immune overreaction thing, that's exactly what I'm on about. You know? I think you have that chance with any virus. Yeah, I think you're right. But I think that COVID was like, people were talking about it like it was being really intense, and that like some people were like dying even after COVID was like gone from their body, but their immune system was still attacking their own body and shit. You know?
We were in a complete deadlock. On the 81st day after the accident at Tokaimura, well into December, Dr. Mike
That's basically
called
allergies,
Uchi's
yeah.
family together and recommended that if his heart stopped beating again, they should not attempt to resuscitate him. They agreed. So Dr. Maikawa gave his medical team the do not resuscitate order.
It was a common cause of death in the 1917 flu pandemic as well? Oh, gotcha.
She dropped off another batch of paper cranes, which now outnumbered just
Hey,
short of
9,000 rats, what's going on?
10,000, and said she wanted to ring in the new year with him. 2 days later, Owuchi's wife returned along with their son. This was the first time in a long time they'd been able to see Owuchi without bandages covering his face. His son, who was in elementary school, said, with hope in his heart, "Dad, hang in there." A nurse who was in the room said that this was the first time she'd seen his wife cry. As far as I could see, that was the only time she cried. Apparently, she was trying to suppress a cry. I thought she didn't have to do that. Later that evening, on the 21st
What's that got to do with anything?
of December 1999, Owuchi passed away. Dr. Maikawa, upon reaching retirement age in the spring of 2000, retired from his work in hospitals. This case made me painfully aware that the system made by human beings could cause terrible disasters with one wrong move.
Damn, this guy ended his entire career based on this whole thing. What the fuck?
There is nothing mere doctors like us can do about that. With any latest technology and equipment, we have no chance against the catastrophic effects of radiation. We learned that the hard way. Moving
Thank you for the
forward,
follow.
Dr. Maikawa worked on establishing medical procedures.
Yeah, this bit is kind of
for the
mid. Yeah,
treatment
it
of
is.
radiation
It is.
exposure. People who
But we got to the end of it anyway, chat, and like that was pretty good. Mid, but pretty good. This next one is called The Nuclear Waste Problem. It's another channel with millions of subscribers that I've never heard of. And it's got 3 million views. It was made possible by Brilliant. I don't know what that sponsor is. I don't know if this is like another green capitalism sponsor, but like, here we go.
Learn to think like a scientist for 20% off by being one of the first 5.
Melorboad says, "Hi, I am new. Hi, I'm gay. I'm bisexual." I don't know what to say to that. Welcome in. How you doing? What's going on?
100 people to sign up at the link in the description. Nuclear energy is one of the cleanest, most efficient, and most available sources of power on Earth. To generate 1 kilowatt hour of energy, the amount an American...
Be happy that you didn't have a nurse lecture on radiation poisoning because it's graphic. Yeah, I imagine. It's like a curiosity stream thing. Oh, okay.
household consumes in 48 minutes, nuclear power plants only emit 12 grams of carbon dioxide, enough to fill about 3 2-liter soda bottles. Meanwhile, to produce the same amount of energy, coal plants emit 820 grams of CO2, about a full bathtub's worth. Factoring in the environmental cost of production, nuclear energy is cleaner than hydropower, than geothermal, than solar, than really any energy source except wind. But that doesn't necessarily mean nuclear is the long-term solution for the world, because nuclear material is perhaps the most poisonous substance on Earth. 2 times in history have nuclear power plants leaked
Like, this is the whole thing. Like, I don't disagree with the fact, like, that's why it really fucking annoyed me, that first person to get banned, right? That's why it really fucking annoyed me. Because it was like, I never said for a second, right? This video, this is what the other person was saying, right? This is the thing. I never said that nuclear power is not, like, cleaner in terms of its output for energy than every other thing combined, right? Than every other thing combined, right? But my issue is with the waste. My issue is with the waste. Mellowbode says, except if we use sodium-based nuclear. Am I really going to Google this? The sodium-cooled fast reactor uses liquid metal sodium as a coolant instead of water that's typically used in US commercial power plants. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck off. Don't give a shit.
Significant amounts of...
What they're talking about is like a nuclear power plant, but with like a different thing in the coolant. Don't care. Still makes nuclear waste. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
Radiation. In 1986 in Chernobyl, Ukraine...
It makes me so fucking mad. It makes me so fucking mad. I swear to God. I swear to God. Good God damn it. Like, look. We just watched that video. And multiple times I was there going, oh, okay, actually, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, right, you know, and I was learning stuff. If you don't actually know stuff, why are you just coming in here and saying it? Some nuclear folks remind me of NFT folks. Exactly the same kind of brainworms. Exactly the same kind of brainworms. You know what I mean? I'm not that fussed about the waste. I'm fussed about the increasing instability in a world that will produce tons of meltdowns and fuck everything up. Well, you should be fussed about the waste. Because the waste cannot be removed. It can't. It doesn't fucking dissolve. It doesn't go anywhere. And if we want the planet to, like, survive, yes, even tens of thousands of years into the future, we shouldn't be sacrificing the lives of people in the future just so we that can survive now. That's exactly what people did with fossil fuels. Genuine question. How do you feel about people in chat pointing out Stunlocks, especially if you haven't already pointed them out yourself? I feel like that could be a little annoying. No, I'm fine with that because it's true. The next unban request stream is going to be fun. None of those people are going to have an unban request. None of them. None of them will because they know they're wrong. Because they know they're fucking wrong.
And in 2011 in Fukushima, Japan. 31 people died in Chernobyl, with at least a further 4,000 expected to contract early lethal cancer due to radiation. Fukushima was better contained, with only 2 deaths, both unrelated to radiation, and only 130 early cancer deaths expected. But, additionally, each site still today has massive exclusion zones where humans cannot live due to ongoing radiation. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced from their homes and will never be allowed to return. The economic damage of Chernobyl is estimated at nearly $250 billion, significantly more than the GDP of Ukraine. The Fukushima disaster, meanwhile, having taken place in a much more populated and developed area, is expected to set Japan back over $500 billion, a full 10% of their GDP. In addition, uranium...
I don't care about the GDP, bro. Like, who gives a fuck?
The element most commonly used in nuclear...
Right, I actually agree, Lev. I actually agree. The meltdowns are not that much of an issue compared to the waste. Right. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's my entire issue, Lev. That's my entire issue. Nuclear is a stopgap at best. The main issue is that it may just become the status quo. Right, exactly. And it will become the status quo. Let's not forget that Chernobyl almost contaminated the water table of Eastern Europe for millennia. Right. That, exactly.
Reactors is not in limitless supply. Using present-day extraction methods, there's only about a 230-year supply of uranium left. Many would say nuclear is only a short-term solution to reduce carbon emissions until truly sustainable energy can become commonplace. But the biggest problem
it's
with
like the new
nuclear
oil,
energy
right?
is not the risk of meltdown, it's not the supply of uranium, it's this: nuclear waste.
Right. Just fucking look at this shit, chat. Look at this fucking shit. Like, here's the thing. The nuclear waste that is in these containers will last longer than the containers themselves. So the containers will degrade, right? The containers will degrade, and the nuclear waste will just end up coming out. Completely secure barrels of depleted uranium. Do you know what I mean? It's so ridiculous. So fucking ridiculous. That is North Las Vegas, right? Yeah. Yeah, it should not be sorted like that at all. It should not.
All current commercial nuclear power plants work through the process of nuclear fission. As a radioactive element decays, the individual atoms split into two, but when that happens, the reaction also releases.
This is what we're learning. It's the splitting of the atom. That's what releases radiation. There you go. I'm learning now.
Energy. There are plenty of different designs of nuclear reactors, but in general they capture the released energy by using it to heat up water into steam.
GDP is the issue in regards to getting the government to do anything. I disagree. Direct action gets the goods every time.
Which runs through turbines that spin generators. The nuclear element used is typically uranium, which,
hey Johnny lad, what's going on?
6 to 8 years of usage in a nuclear power plant, will have released enough of its energy that it is no longer useful in nuclear reactors. But that doesn't mean it's done emitting energy. The fuel rods will remain radioactive enough to emit a lethal dose for tens or hundreds of thousands of years past their removal. So the question is, what do you do with them? The answer is simple: put them somewhere where they can stay, undisturbed, isolated, forever. But that's not all that easy.
You just can't. It's just so ridiculous.
In fact, no nuclear waste worldwide is currently in what is considered long-term storage.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, even people who come in, yeah? Even people who come in to the chat and they say things like, oh, it's fine, we're just going to throw it down a big hole and cover it in concrete, are wrong, because that doesn't happen. It doesn't fucking happen. You know? I find it fascinating that we're splitting atoms to boil water. It just seems a bit absurd. It is absurd. It is absurd. You know?
Every bit of nuclear waste in existence is in temporary storage facilities to be used until a long-term solution is built. Most of that nuclear waste is stored in pools of water. Water does a decently good job of shielding radiation, so this is an inexpensive and easy way of storing the rods. Usually, these pools are physically inside the nuclear power plants, so when spent fuel is removed from the reactor, it's put directly into the water and left there. The radioactive material, since it's still emitting energy, continues to heat up the water, but cooling systems and pumps keep the water below boiling temperature. But to do that, the plant needs power. If the power fails and the backup generators fail,
So you need energy to run this plant in order to keep the spent uranium cold. And the uranium is the thing that keeps that like produces the energy. It's just like, what the fuck?
The pumps and cooling systems stop working, so the water heats up and can boil off. The water is what blocks the radiation, so without water, the radiation just goes right out into the environment. In fact, exactly that happened at Fukushima. Both the primary and backup power sources failed, so the pumps and cooling systems for the spent fuel pools couldn't run, leaving the water to heat up. The situation was brought under control before enough water had boiled off to release significant amounts of radiation into the environment, but had it not been...
What's this?
Jeez, let's see who the real monster is.
Why, geez, Velma, I think it might be the ruling class. It might be the bourgeoisie.
That's pretty good. Thanks, Johnny. Like that.
Thousands could have been killed. Once nuclear waste has cooled down in storage pools for 10 to 20 years, it typically is encased in casks. These concrete and steel containers block in radiation, but this solution is far from permanent. It does not consider earthquakes, it cannot withstand tsunamis, and it would not work without humans. These casks require security and they require maintenance. Without humans,
it is also, again, like, you know, sort of, it's very human-centric as well, right? It's not considering the environment. Like, even if, like, oh, well, you know, if the only important thing is that if, like, the human race survives, then eventually one day we'll die, and the nuclear waste will just be left there anyway, and then that's fine. It's like, no, what about the animals? Like, what about the other inhabitants of the world? We really are a species that is so, like, obsessed with our own, you know, existence in this world. Like, we are not the only people. We are not the only species on this planet. Like, we just aren't. You know? Hey, Nyakanoids, what's going on? The very same people who are very pro-nuclear tend to be very naive when it comes to social systems. There might be a theoretical way to store waste, but how do you know people are actually going to build this? What's stopping capitalism from just going with the cheapest possible option and cutting corners? Exactly. This is what we were talking about before. You know. Not defending nuclear, but they knew about the potential issue in Fukushima and chose not to do anything about it. Right, exactly. Exactly. It's so bad. You know? So bad.
they could easily be damaged or breached over time and release radiation into the environment.
Keep the color changing cats. I love that stuff. What are you on about? I feel like I heard someone mention this the other day. Color changing cats. Anyone see that Multiverses clip where Velma uses her power to call the cops? What? How color-changing cats might warn future humans of radioactive waste. What? What the fuck is this? Hey, Mr. Dank, what's going on? As the UK gets ready to build more nuclear plants, this is from 2017, by the way, scientists are looking for new ways to tell our distant descendants where we buried our sludge. Right, we were talking about this on Red Planet as well. There was like, there was also like an idea that they would like, make like a horrific sort of like statue that looks like horrible and aggressive and shit like that. But the problem with that is that it just looked like really, really cool and shit. Plans for a new fleet of nuclear power plants are underway. Last month, for example, Hitachi and the Japanese government confirmed a plan to construct 5.4 gigawatts of generating capacity at UK sites. Why? Wait, what happened? My favorite piece on nuclear media. 10,000-year earworm to discourage settlement near nuclear waste repositories. Wait, so this is like a tune? This is a tune that someone made to be like, don't... Am I gonna get a DMCA from this?
Don't change color, kitty, keep your color, kitty, stay that pretty gray. Don't change color, kitty, keep your color, kitty, keep sickness away.
There you go. Love that shit. Warning, that Velma clip? Oh no, it's Stunlock City, gang. It's Stunlock City. Down and triangle, call the police. Wow, LeBron James is in this as well. Yeah, LeBron James is like in multiverses, isn't he? Like LeBron James who like is dead? Wait, did LeBron James die? No, he didn't, did he? Is LeBron James dead?
It wasn't complicated. They did it. Take him away.
Maybe I should. Yeah, okay, that's extremely fucked. That's extremely fucked. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? LeBron is selling NFTs now. Oh, okay, he's not dead. Good to hear he's not dead. Sad to hear. Sad to hear that he is selling NFTs. Crush on Velma terminated. Yeah. No one called that in development. Yeah, no one gave a shit about that. That is how every episode of Scooby-Doo ends. It is. White girl blames black guy. Tale as old as America. That's right. Kobe Bryant died in the helicopter crash. Yeah, but I thought LeBron James died for some reason. I don't know why. You know? The flying rats? Wait, what? Wait, what are you on about? Flying rats? What are you on about flying rats? Let's put some tunes on while we read this article. What's going on? In short, cats that turn, say, green when near radioactive material, a legend passed on through the millennia, would trigger a response in humans to get out as soon as possible. You could just, like, not do this. You could just, like, not do any of this and just not do nuclear energy. Really easy. It's so stupid. I can't believe it. Yeah, the basis is on a myth that isn't real. Well, most myths aren't real. Apart from ghosts. Yeah, consider wind and solar energy. This plan is to literally try and manipulate the culture of post-apocalyptic humans to teach them to avoid radioactive waste. Right. Preemptively. Muel admits that ghosts are myths. No, they're real. They're real myths. And goblins, yeah. Yeah, how do you even implement this? Where's the thing about, like, nuclear waste site ideas? Like, where's the like the statue one? Nuclear waste statue as warning. Physical markers. Landscape of thorns. Landscape of thorns. This is absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd, right? The Sandia report explored designs for physical markers which convey the concepts of dangerous emanations, shapes that evoke bodily harm, and the concept of shunned land that appears destroyed or poisoned. You could just, like, not do this. You could just not do any of this. And not do nuclear. The energy is fine if our population of genetically engineered cats survived and thrived in the right area, and they keep the mutation, and we engineer a myth, and that myth doesn't change in the retelling. It's so stupid. Hydro is also necessary if you want renewables, because hydro is the best method for storage we got at the moment. I don't think that's true, is it? Like, storage is related to batteries, isn't it? Like, we have a lot of, like, battery technology that, like, you know, they're using for, like, Teslas and shit. But they could just be using it for, like, renewable energy. People would start worshipping it if we know anything about ancient monuments. Right, exactly, right. Exactly. It's just so absurd. Pumped hydro. Batteries also have the same issue of horrible waste. You can't just put your power grid in a battery. Like, no, yeah, I think that you can. Rare earth materials to produce them. Pumped hydro is cleaner than batteries. Yeah, but it's also the destruction of the environment as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? I know this is a deeply unpopular opinion, but I think we need a decade of nuclear to completely stop coal, oil, and gas so we have a world for renewable resources. No! No, we don't! No, we don't! We don't need nuclear to replace the fucking energy that we have now. We don't need it. Why do we need it? Tell me why. Give me one reason why. We have the technology now to fucking power the world with renewables. You people are making me fucking mental. I'm already mental. I'm going more mental. It's not a popular... Johnny, the only reason I'm entertaining this is because you are like a good friend and you've been in the street, you've been here for like years. The reason it's unpopular is because it's wrong. Right, exactly. We can't do a decade of nuclear. We need a decade just to convert to nuclear. Absurd. I'm gonna morb. I'm actually gonna morb. It's morbing time. You just gave me the same link I was looking at, Prince. But yeah, there's the link if anyone wants to look at it, because I'm finding it hard to concentrate here. Right. Spike field. A series of extremely large spikes emerging from the ground at different angles. Why? Why? Just don't do nuclear. Spikes bursting through grid. A large square grid pattern across the site, which large spikes protrude at various angles. Absurd. Menacing earthworks. Large mounds of... This one's funny. This one's really funny. Large mounds of earth shaped like lightning bolts emanating from the edges of a square site. The shapes would be strikingly visible from the air or from artificial hills constructed around the site. It's just really funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. This shit. What's the next one? What's the next one? Remember when we found the pyramids and we read all the warnings and took them very seriously? Yeah, I remember when that happened. I remember when that happened. Black hole. An enormous slab of basalt or black dyed concrete, rendering the land uninhabitable and unfarmable. I mean, you don't need that with nuclear waste. You could just, like, let the nuclear waste sit there. Do you know what I mean? Humans are fucking trying to become the vaguely evil, extinct precursor civilization in a fantasy setting. They are. Why are we like this? When they put me in my sarcophagus, I'm taking 100 depleted fuel rods in with me, right? Yeah, basalt would make people wonder what's in there. They would be like, why does that look so cool? They would be like, why does this look so cool? There's obviously something incredibly cool in here. You know what I mean? Like, has anyone, like... Alien is based on this kind of shit, right? Alien is kind of like a mishmash of different horror stories and different horror stories that come from the misunderstanding of, you know, colonial powers stealing things from cultures, right? So, like, The Mummy, for example, is like colonial powers stealing people's culture, going in there, like getting the treasure from the ancient crypt, and then awakening, you know, the righteous, you know, the anger of Tutankhamun or whatever, right? And Alien is kind of like that. It's like they go in a spaceship to, like, you know, a distress beacon, but they don't understand that the distress beacon is not, they're not trying to, like, get saved. They're trying to warn people to stay away from this, like, huge biohazard. And so they go in there and then they interact with the biohazard and then like they take it home, because it's like, you know, there's a fucking capitalist robot on the ship that is like, yes, we need this. Yeah, every Ghibli film, every Studio Ghibli film. Yeah, exactly. I would defo die trying to see a cool thing. Exactly. The only good disposal method is launching it all into space. Well, no, because then, like, look, if it lasts for that long and it drifts through space and eventually gets to, like, you know, another planet and lands on there or some shit, what if it just, like, blows it up? And also, yeah, launching it into space takes fuel. Nausicaa Valley of the Winds is really good. It's a really good movie. Yeah, Nausicaa is one of my favorites. And if you want one without like the energy message and just like from an animal's perspective, check out Pompoko. It's also got massive raccoon balls in it, which is great. Rubble Landscape, a large square-shaped pile of dynamited rock. Dynamited. Is that right? Anyway, which over time would still appear anomalous and give a sense of something having been destroyed. No. Dynamitten. Also, what if there's an accident and the spaceship explodes in the atmosphere and we get destroyed? Exactly! Holy shit! Exactly! Our Lord and Savior Elon Musk will arrange that for us. I'm sure he will. Forbidding blocks. A network of hundreds of house-sized blocks dyed black and arranged in an irregular square grid, suggesting a network of streets which feel ominous and lead to nowhere. My friend, you have created a labyrinth. All you have done there is created a weird-looking labyrinth. Humans are, like, instinctively drawn to labyrinths. Yeah, we're naturally curious. This is just so much. This is just so much shit. I swear to God, it's just so ridiculous. Into Eternity, a Danish documentary about how the Onkalo spent nuclear phone repository tries to resolve this issue. It's just absurd. Like, look at this. It's just absurd. Yeah, these guys expect human beings to stop being human at some point. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, look at this. Look at this. They're just like, okay, we have a hole that goes down 180 meters. Well, that's not enough. That's not enough. Okay, well, we'll make a hole that goes down 2 kilometers. That's not enough. That's not enough. Okay, well, we'll make a hole that goes down 274,000 kilometers. And they're just going to keep going. They're just going to, yeah, we just saw it right at the bottom. Right at the bottom. This literally looks like a dungeon. This literally looks like a Zelda dungeon. Yeah, sometime in the future, an ancient civilization built a structure of basalt that specialists have been investigating for decades. The basalt slab reads in ancient language, "Don't remove basalt, nuclear waste underneath." Experts say this could be an inscription to deter grave robbers. That's the only thing that will happen. That's the only thing that will happen. Anyway, let's get back to this video, chat.
Humans have only existed for about 200,000 years, so one can hardly be sure that the species will survive for the...
I've like got a stress headache from how many people I've had to tell are wrong about like nuclear power today. Like, I've actually got a stress headache.
Millions of years that the toxic nuclear waste will continue to emit radiation. What's more, one can hardly expect that the dominant civilizations...
Wait, how have I only... Wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. When did I start streaming? Oh, I had to cut a bit out. I had to cut a bit out, didn't I? God damn it. Yeah. I had to stop a bit because, yeah.
Have nuclear technology today will continue to exist for even thousands of years. The Roman Empire was once, without a doubt, the most powerful civilization on Earth. Scholars even believe that it is the most powerful civilization to have ever existed on Earth. More powerful than the US, than Europe, than any modern civilization. But it fell.
And they were gay.
And so too will the West.
Oh, this fucking video is based! This video is already based.
Therefore, long-term nuclear waste storage needs to last longer than any political structure, it needs to work without the supervision of humans, it needs to be truly and unequivocally permanent.
Yeah.
Finland is building just that. This region is largely devoid of natural disasters. It doesn't have earthquakes,
For now. This region is largely devoid of natural disasters. For now. who's to say that after we fuck up the earth with climate change, right? After we fuck up the earth with climate change, that natural disasters aren't going to happen in this place. Yeah, we're going to share the link for this. We're going to share the link for this video. 100%. Hi, Katrina, as well. Good to see you. Yeah, definitely support this comrade. I like Wendover already. Very, very good. Not that they need the support, but, you know, there's the support. 3 million fucking subscribers. They're not exactly a struggling leftist YouTube content creator, are they? You know what I mean?
It doesn't see tsunamis. It really doesn't encounter any natural phenomenon that could damage a nuclear waste storage site, especially if it's 1,500 feet underground. Beneath an island on the Finnish Baltic Sea coast, the country is digging. They're building the very first permanent nuclear waste storage facility in the world in the stable bedrock 1,500 feet below. Currently, they're just finishing their dig down. Then very soon, in 2020, they'll start filling the facility with nuclear waste. They'll dig long tunnels with small holes in which they'll place casks of nuclear waste, then backfill the tunnels with clay to be left for an eternity. With this system, there's near zero risk of nuclear material leaking out into the groundwater, and once it's filled in the year 2120, it can just be left forever. Because the material will be so far down and so difficult to get to, no human management will be necessary once completed. No security, no maintenance, nothing, which means it should be truly secure. But before leaving it, they do need to fight against one thing: human nature. As curious beings, it's hard to combat a person's urge of discovery. If someone finds a mysterious structure from thousands of years ago, it'd just be natural to want to open it up. And that's a problem for nuclear waste sites. We essentially did just that with the pyramids in Egypt. These structures were built as the final permanent resting places for the elite.
Me too, Katrina. I've literally molded so hard. I'm already bald, but I'm like going bald in other places now. Due to how you know, I've had to like tell people that they're wrong today. Yeah, you know, like it's funny how we were literally just talking about hieroglyphs and like pyramids. Isn't it funny that we were literally just talking about that? Someone in the chat mentioned it, and you know,
of Egypt, and we opened them up because we were curious. Opening the nuclear storage facilities would release radiation into a future civilization, so we have to tell them to leave the sites alone, but that's easier said than done. The US Department of Energy commissioned a study on how to communicate the danger into the far future. The key is to create a message that conveys how uninteresting, how unimportant, and how dangerous nuclear waste is. They settled on the following text. Sending this message was important to us. We considered ourselves to be a powerful culture. This place is not a place of honor. No highly esteemed deed is commemorated here. Nothing valued is here. What is here was dangerous and repulsive to us. This message is a warning about danger. The danger is in a particular location. It increases towards the center. The center of danger is here, of a particular size and shape, and below us. The danger is still present in your time as it was in ours. The danger is—
There's absolutely no way a human of the future or any kind of species in the future that's capable of deciphering text is going to read this and go, yeah, let's just leave it, man. Let's just leave it. Like, yeah, they're probably right. This is the kind of message folks read before entering into the forbidden zone. Fantasy precursor bullshit, literally. It is. It's like, yeah, it's like Lovecraft. It's like, you know, someone reads it and they think like, oh yeah, we could use this as a weapon. Exactly. Like, there are so many implications for nuclear waste. Like, there are so many implications. I swear to God.
Is to the body and it can kill.
Yeah, no one's gonna read all that. People will be like, yeah, sorry, you know, happy for you, or sorry that happened, right, I'm going in, you know?
The form of the danger is an emanation of energy. The danger is unleashed only if you substantially disturb this place physically. This place is best shunned and left uninhabited. The idea would be to translate a message like this into every United Nations language: Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish. There's a reasonable hope that, at least in the next couple thousand years, one of those languages would be understood.
But like, do they know how long it takes for like language to evolve? Do they have any idea?
But in the scope of hundreds of thousands of years,
it's what people click through to install games. Yeah, it's like the fucking, it's like the you know, the new products update disclaimer, you know?
There's just little expectation that these languages would survive.
Yeah, you could do all this, you could do all of this, right? You could do all of this, or you could just not do nuclear. We still speak Latin. Yeah, but that's like a 2,000-year-old language, right? And this is saying that like nuclear is going to last for longer than 2,000 years. There's every chance. Listen, there's every chance that nuclear annihilation could happen in that time, right? And people won't understand why that happened, for a start. And, you know, secondly, they'll be like, you know, oh, okay, like, even if they hear it's about nuclear waste, they'll want to dig it up and be like, oh, the secrets of the past, like, this is what destroyed the humans in the before times, you know? Can a lay person read Old English nowadays? And that's another thing. That is assuming that, like, the person who reads the thing is going to know Old English or, like, old whatever. Right, we do not speak Latin. We speak the evolved remnants of Latin. Right, there's that too, right? You know? That too. It's just, there's just so much wrong with this. There's just so much wrong with this.
Not even a reasonable expectation that humans will survive. So, you need to convey the same message without language. What the study suggests is to further push the message by building a
We literally just looked at all of this, but well, let's watch the video version. That's fine.
Landscape that conveys danger. It could be a scene of thorns or spikes or forbidding blocks.
Oh, I didn't know there were like pictures of this stuff. Hold up. Again, this stuff looks like incredibly cool. Like this is like heavy metal shit, you know what I mean?
So, you need to convey the same message without language. What the study suggests is to further push the message by building a landscape that conveys danger. It could be a scene of...
So, like, landscape of thorns, that's cool as fuck. Definitely people are going to try and, like, you know, explore that. Spike field, that just looks cool as fuck. And also, like, there's no way that doesn't, like, what is that? What is that? Like, that's not stopping anyone getting anywhere. It's not stopping anyone getting anywhere. Yeah, what if the future race finding it has spike dicks? Exactly. You know? Yeah, any type of landmark is going to attract attention. Like, that looks so cool. If people really wanted to stop it, they should require some 60-odd floppies be installed in a particular order before the door will open, preferably using the same dark red on black disk encryption used on Amiga SimCity that's unreadable if you're over 30. But, like, I know that that's like a meme thing. I know that you're doing a meme, right? But also, even if you do all that, there's every chance that no matter how thick the door is that you created with all those codes behind it, right? There's a chance that, like, the future, you know, inhabitants of Earth or visitors to Earth will find a way to get beyond the door anyway. You know? They drew people in these designs. Like, yeah, people are just wandering amongst the spikes. Like, yeah, it's fine. Kind of look like a pre-tree giant fungus. Yeah, right, exactly. It could just look like a forest in the future. We don't know. You know. Build 1,000 identical shafts. People are going to be too lazy to dig up all of them. I don't even think that's true. I don't even think that's true. Because people are still exploring stuff like that anyway, aren't they? Like, there is stuff like that that people are still doing. Forbidding blocks, too narrow to live in, to farm in. I mean, I guess, like, what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop people from, like, settling there, right? They're trying to stop future people from, like, settling there, and that's fine. The material is deep enough not to be dangerous on the surface. Yeah, that's what I mean. People are still going to want to dig it up. Doesn't matter, like, you know, how you try and get around this.
To satiate the discoverer's
yeah, water runoff, joints which shed water. That doesn't even make sense. Like, what does that mean?
curiosity, it's also suggested to add monoliths explaining the history of the site through pictographs. Also included would
people are just gonna think that's too cool. Like,
be images
sorry.
like this, engraved in stone, conveying that the substance has danger that will be passed onto humans if touched. But the difficulty of this is that it very well might not be humans exploring Earth 100,000 years from now. It could be a species that doesn't recognize the likeness of what might be a long extinct species. What some have suggested is to just let the site be forgotten, to not mark it at all, to just seal it up and leave. But having something that significant disappear isn't simple. The site in Finland is designed to not need security or oversight, but its current location is very well documented.
Wait, that one was actually lost? Wait, which one? Where? Oh my god, yeah, this. Oh my god, you're right.
This, engraved in stone, conveying that the
This is just the panels to loss. This is just literally the panels to loss.
Has danger that will be passed onto humans if touched. But the difficulty of this is that it very well might not be humans exploring Earth 100,000 years from now. It could be a species
Hey,
that
Cryogool,
doesn't
what's going
recognize the
on?
likeness
I need to
of
send
what
you
might
your
be
game.
a
Sorry.
long
Totally forgot. I'll do that after the
What
stream.
some have suggested is to just let the site be forgotten, to
God
not
damn
mark
it.
it at all, to just seal it up and leave. But having something that significant disappear isn't simple. The site in Finland is designed to not need security or oversight, but its current location is very well documented in a potentially irreversible way.
Right, this is the thing.
Brains and the internet, records of the site might exist until at least the end of human civilization. To truly be forgotten, to truly be left as part of nature, so too must humans be forgotten. If you want to learn about clean energy or anything else, you should try
Well, there it is, chat. There it is. There's the nuclear Stunlock. There's the nuclear Stunlock done. Hey, Active Bellatrix, what's going on? Welcome in. Isn't there an episode of Star Trek TNG where Data has a radioactive sample and ends up in a primitive culture? Is that right? Metal Gear Solid 2 was right again. It's always right. It's always right. We've not got through any of the content that I wanted to get through today, chat, because we had a nuclear Stunlock at the start of the stream. I should just never, ever, ever mention nuclear power ever again. That's the only solution. What was the main topic? We were covering the news, and then I just brought up nuclear power, and then everybody started talking about nuclear power, and now here we are 2 hours later, and I'm going back to the main content, which is well, the next thing that I was switching it up a bit, because that was like a lot of long stuff. No, it wasn't planned to be a nuclear stream at all. I ban people who advocate for nuclear energy, yeah. You know, especially if they're new. It was fascinating. Good. I'm glad. Are we going to do some memes? We're going to have a look at some memes. The only things you did today was laugh at Alex's trial stuff and this. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you were part of it, Lev. Yeah, nuclear seems fine if you ignore all upstream or downstream. Right. It's just so stupid. Just have the bot tell pro-nuclear people this is not a place of honor and then ban them if they do anything except just leave. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's pretty good, Video Pheasant. That's pretty fucking good. Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Making nuclear. What is that? Like the text to deter future civilizations of nuclear waste. What was that? Here we go. All right. Yeah, we're doing that straight away. I'm gonna make a command in the chat. Are you ready? Right, the command is called... What should we call it? Like... Just nuclear? Is that just what it should be called? Nuke? Yeah, nukes. Or just like nuclear. Hang on, I have to make sure that this is right because I think if it's done the wrong way, Streamlabs chatbot will like send it as multiple messages and that's just going to be really annoying. No honor, no clean nukes. Dick kick 'em. I sound pro-nuclear because I'm interested in it. No. It's very easy. Listen, it's very easy for me to tell if someone is like pro-nuclear or is just like a little bit interested in it. Like it's pretty easy for me to tell that. Don't worry about it, you know? You're not gonna get banned if you're just like kind of interested about like the you know, like if you say something like nuclear energy is fascinating though, like this, that, and the other, like fine, like you're not gonna get banned for that. No way. Right. The command is nuclear. It should be ready now. Let's test it, chat. There you go. Right there. Oh, wait. Where is that? The center of the danger is hit? Or is that just because the message is too long? Yeah, that makes sense. Uh-huh. But the new modular plans... No, that shit is just no. That shit is just literally no. Like, no thanks. I don't fucking care. Hey, Tutor Straws, how you doing? Can I get a shout-out for Tutor Straw, please? Tutor Straws. Fresh radioactive pasta, yeah. Wait, is that where it came from? Is it because Sorka said that she was getting... That she was literally getting thingy? She was getting microwave pasta. Is that why we started talking about nuclear energy? No, it can't be. It came from the Ukraine thing. It did. Thanks. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Have you considered that piss and shit reactors produce no waste and infinite energy? Have you considered that your dad's ass is a nuclear reactor and I fill it with my uranium rod every night and then my depleted nuclear waste is cooled in his mouth afterwards? No, that's okay, hell to pay. That's okay. You've been drawing and listening to the nuclear tangent? Hell yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. Yeah, Chaos Merlin started a clown thing. How did you start the clown thing? I can't even remember. Like, how did you, was that about the Billy roll? I can't even remember. I just hate the fact that it's like, I just hate the fact it's called Billy roll. I remember the clown husbandry thing. I know that that's what it was. All right, Shafiq, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, you've been doing doodles as well. Tutor Straws has been doodling. You've been doodling half a laptop. Nice. Exit and lurk because I heard about the Billy roll. Oh no, it's not good. We're not doing that again. We're not doing that again. That's right. You just mentioned that clown husbandry was a thing on Tumblr. Yeah. The Billy roll. Nothing is as cursed. That's right. Personally, I'm a liker of the Clossy. That's up to you, Gumba. That's entirely up to you. You know? What you do in the safety of your own home that is consensual and, like, you know, doesn't hurt anyone, that's fine. Yes, we can have Mick Lynch. Yes, that's a great idea, Cynthia. Cynthia, that's a fucking solid idea. If you're a subscriber of $27, I want to see your big Mick Lynch emotes in the chat. Clown husbandry is what brings us Fox News presenters. That's correct. Right. Chat, I don't know if there's a content warning for this, so we're going to leave it for now. But this is Mick Lynch, spokesperson for the Rail Maritime Transport Union. Absolutely destroying the media, Keir Starmer, the Conservatives in the marketplace of ideas. That's what we're checking out. Nice little bit of hopium content. Let's see what Big Mick's got to say. Big Mick!
Well, I think people have brought into my message because I look like Brad Pitt and sound like Boy George. Yeah, trade unionists get called quite a lot. We get called militant extremists, we get called barons. We're not barons. I don't push people around. I haven't got a strategy board, and my members certainly aren't pawns. I can be got rid of by my members, unlike Rupert Murdoch. Nobody can get rid of him. He's got so good, newspapers Katrina, and media outlets owned by the oligarch.
Yeah, look at this shit. Hard left rail union strike to paralyze Britain. And it's like, no, it didn't. I'll tell you something very funny, chat. I'll tell you something very funny. On Sunday, I went out for coffee with my mate, right? And we had a funny little scenario where, like, the guys at the table next to us took our lattes by mistake, right? And so we got chatted to him, and they said they'd just been to see the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. And I said, oh, did you have any trouble getting there? And they said, no, it was fine. We just got the coach. Because it's extremely funny, because the biggest thing that they're talking about, that they keep talking about in the right-wing Murdoch press, is how, like, oh, if you do strikes around the Commonwealth Games, people won't be able to get there. And it's just so false. So false. Yeah, we have literal barons in this country, yeah. The Murdoch papers don't realize that most people actually support the RMT. No. I understand why you might think that, but they do know that the RMT has a lot of support, and that's why A, they've gone quiet on it recently, and B, they went so hard on it to begin with. They absolutely know that people support the unions. They absolutely know. They're terrified. When you see the media go like this about anyone. See, this is why I've said this in the past about when right-wing media talks about trans people, like they're scared of trans people. They are scared of trans people. They're scared of the concept of being transgender because it will help to break down so many other binaries that we have in our life that the hierarchies that uphold capitalism need in order to survive, right? Sorry, the hierarchies that uphold capitalism need in order to survive, and they also help capitalism to survive, right? It's literally like that. It's literally like that. And it's the same with shit like this. You know? Big Mick could only one who could take over Bob Crow. I don't know who Bob Crow is. But yeah, they always try and play the you're being inconvenienced card. Yeah. You're getting a coach on Sunday because even before the strike was announced, there was rail replacement buses. We have really good buses in Manchester. In Manchester, we have like some of the best buses in the fucking country. Like, we have one of the busiest bus routes in Europe. You know? I'm personally proud that trans people aren't just a scapegoat. Our mere philosophical existence fundamentally challenges the status quo. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Eddie Dempsey is good as well. Eddie Dempsey is good as well, yeah. 100%.
We were telling working class people like myself and other trade union leaders that we're some kind of elite aristocracy, you know, trade union barons. It's just absolute nonsense. And some of these media people, they seem surprised that working class people with accents can articulate a case on behalf of other people and have got ideas about the economy, about the way politics work. They find that shocking, but if they come into mess rooms on the railway or go down their local pub or go to their church or mosque, they'll find millions of articulate working class people. But the fact is, we don't get a chance to express ourselves. And my attitude is, I'll give you a straight answer to a straight question, but if you give me a load of nonsense, I'm just going to bat that over the boundary and give it the treatment it deserves.
And that is where Jeremy Corbyn went wrong in the media attention he got going up to the 2019 election, right? Emmy says, absolutely true. I remember talking to my old boss about being trans, and he was like, well, if gender is a spectrum, then what does that make of sexuality? Yes, as a bisexual person, I can confirm that sexuality is indeed a spectrum.
Let me show you what I believe is your Facebook page. I want you to confirm or deny if this is your Facebook page.
Is that the level your journalism's at these days?
I simply asked you if that was you.
What will they do if they...
Yeah, this is absolutely absurd. This is absolutely absurd. Right? They clearly made this themselves. They clearly made this themselves. You can just create a Facebook profile like that. And if you want to like put like a banner, if you want to put like a Facebook banner, a banner picture, or like, you know, anything like that. And even if this is his Facebook page, who cares? You know what I mean? Who fucking cares? Like, people have said that he looks like Ming the Merciless because what, he's bald? Like, right. You know? It's an inside joke between him and his mates, right? Exactly. They legit thought it was a gotcha and that his profile picture was a villain, right? This is it. It's so stupid.
Is that the level your journalism's at these days?
I simply asked you if that was you.
What will they do if agency workers try to cross those picket lines?
Well, we will picket them. What do you think we'll do? We run a
He has been merciless with the press, right? Exactly.
And we'll ask them not to go to work. Do you not know how a picket line works?
What do they do anyway?
Well, you can see what picketing involves. I can't believe this line of questioning.
Are you or are you not a Marxist?
Richard, you do come up with the most remarkable twaddle sometimes, I've got to say.
He's so good. He's so good.
Says that you're militant, that you're extreme left, and he went on to say that you're not normal.
Well, it's ironic to be called...
Oh my God, look at his fucking patch there. Look at his patch there. What is his patch there? Hold up. Hold up. What is his fucking patch there? Is that a patch for like the women's union? What's his badge he's got on? I wanna fucking yeah, twaddle. Twaddle is one of the better English words. Yeah, one of the better you know, one of the only reasons I'm proud to be British. I'm not proud to be British. Right, it looks like women's liberation. It looks like women's liberation. I don't know. Does anyone know what this is? Like, I'm terrified that it's like turf shit. I'm absolutely terrible that it's turf shit. Terrified that it's turf shit.
Extreme left, and he went on to say that you're not normal.
Well, it's ironic to be called not normal by the Conservative Party, who are taking themselves into the realms of the extreme right at the moment. The government...
Whoa, it said it right there. It said it right there. It zoomed right in on it. Oh, hold up. How do I fucking do this now? Frame by frame. It's frame by frame time, chat. You love collecting new words. Twaddle's been around for ages. It's been around for years. It's just like, come on! Enhance! Computer enhance! Something truth and justice campaign. Something truth and justice campaign. I don't know. Computer enhance. Five parsecs to the right, or whatever he says in Blade Runner. 5 parsecs to the right. Oh, I can't fucking read that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Whatever, we'll have to find out. I don't fucking know.
Extreme right at the moment. The government intends to bring forward new laws. We've heard a bit about it recently, agency workers and other measures. But that's not the end of it. We've heard Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak both saying they're going to bring in the most extreme anti-trade union laws to make it almost impossible to take legal and effective industrial action. We've also heard about the police laws that they brought in under Mrs. Patel to stop even demonstrations and any expression of dissent. If you take those two measures together, trying to suppress the right to protest, also trying to stop us expressing ourselves as workers.
Yeah, you can have the link to Double Down News. Like, they don't really need a shout out from me, but they are a good news source. They've done a pretty good amount of stuff. Ooh, Jen coming in with the big Twitter links. Is this gonna kick me off? Orgrave Truth and Justice campaign. What's it all about? What does it represent? We're women, we're strong, rest in power, Bridget. Justice for the all-grieved miners. Oh, right, okay. So it's an anti-cop thing. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. All right, thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. Yeah. Here's the link. Here's the link to the video. Okay, he's based. Yeah, Mick has said some intersectional and based things before. It's unlikely it's a bad thing, yeah. Highly unlikely. Mick is extremely based.
In the workplace. There's a real danger that this government and the future leaders of the Tory party are taking a turn to the extreme right. And if we're not careful, decades and centuries of progress could be ripped off us in a matter of months. Keir Starmer has responded to these strikes through silence generally. Nobody knows what he actually identifies with. And I'll be frank with everybody, I want Labour to win the next election. It's in the interest of our people that we replace this government with an alternative government. But what I think might happen is that he is so bland and so anonymous that he won't win that election.
He's spot on. He is spot on. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I don't think he's endorsing Keir Starmer here, or Keir Starmer's Labour government. I think what he's fucking saying is, what we all know to be true, which is that, like, Keir Starmer's Labour is not powerful enough to beat the Tories. We need a Labour Party that is powerful enough to beat the Tories. And that's spot on.
So he's really got to find a way to identify with the struggles that are going on. And sacking a front bencher such as Sam Terry, who comes from the trade union movement, whose only guilt is he stood by me and my members on a picket line, is the wrong direction for any Labour Party regime to go in.
I think it's a fundamental mistake to ban Labour MPs from being on picket lines. It shouldn't happen, never happened. It's caused a complete car crash of a week, and we should have been talking about what we're going to do to raise wages for the British people.
The public has...
Like, if Keir Starmer truly cared about getting Labour into power, right, it literally would make so much sense to back these strikes. Like, holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? We don't have anyone like this man in US politics and we're poorer for it. This guy isn't even a politician, Katrina. He's just a fucking trade union spokesperson. That's all he is. Well, I don't mean to downplay that. A union man is a fucking based man. Do you know what I mean? But, like, he's not even a politician. He's literally not even a politician. He's just a trade union spokesperson. You know?
Given us a really great response. Some of these pickets have turned into spontaneous demonstrations. We've had outbursts of support in Glasgow, Liverpool, Birmingham, South Wales, all over the place.
He is on the Tory payroll, I'm convinced too.
But from the general public, those that are not involved usually in campaigns. And
he wasn't just a hero, he was more than that. He was a union man.
I think that's because they recognise that what's happening to us, or could happen to us if we don't get a deal, has already happened to them. We've seen what's happening in the aviation sector where people have been ripped off. We've seen in the NHS, and we've seen the barristers out on strike lately. Everybody feels they're being ripped off. So I think that's why it's resonating and people want to get behind us. I get stopped in the street because my profile's gone up. You know, that's unusual for somebody that looks like me, but people are coming up to me on the bus, on the tube, saying, keep going. But our members are getting it as well. People are giving them the thumbs up in their everyday jobs, and even the passengers on train, when we go back to work, are wishing us well. And I don't think the Tories were expecting this. I don't think the bosses were expecting it.
It's tough times for the taxi drivers, and it's even tougher times now that these rail strikes are going to put a squeeze on your trade.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to say that the men and women of the train unions are totally 100% back them. They have a right.
Get fucked, get fucked, GB News. Get fucked. Damn, that is so fucking sick. Get fucked.
Stand up for the working rights.
Seethe and cope.
It's unfortunate that we don't have more unions that are strong enough to stand up for that.
Fucking let's go!
Years, the people in power, the ruling class, the powers that be, the media, have always sought to divide working people. Back in the day, it used to be Catholic against Protestant, Scottish against English, black against white. That's all nonsense. Working class people have got to stick together in every community, respecting our diversity, respecting our differences, but also building maximum unity. And division is fatal for working class people. We cannot allow that to happen.
Fucking so beast. He's so beast. Gotta fucking love Mick Lynch. Go on, Mick Lynch. Go on, Big Mick.
All workers are one, and that's the attitude we've got to take forward. Mobilising our people together, all workers of every identity in one mass movement. The cost of living crisis is one of the most...
they made such a big mistake getting Mick Lynch on TV, Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely.
Significant things we've had. By the end of the year, we could have ordinary working class families paying £500 a month for energy bills. That is phenomenal, and it's unforgivable that a government could let that happen while these companies, BP, Shell, the distribution companies, the privatised gas companies, are making phenomenal profits, 37 billion.
He can't try for PM Sorka because he'd need to run as an MP. Right, so he'd need to run in an MP wherever he lives, right, in a constituency, and then he'd have to be accepted as a Labour member. He won't be allowed to be a Labour member. They will have like got rid of him from the membership. I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty fucking certain.
While working people, and even people on reasonable salaries, are starting to struggle just to get by week by week.
And I think you're right, Helterbay. I think you're right. I think he is better outside of electoralism because it's going to show people that you don't need to be a politician in order to, like, get results. You know what I mean?
If that profit was turned into a progressive view, the provision of services was in order so that people could enjoy their lives and be balanced in favour of the ecology, the environment, we'd have a much better system. So I think the very idea of public ownership itself, ownership by the people and for the people, is an idea that trade unionists and the labour movement have got to put forward. We've got a rail system that's completely confused in this country. We've got a mixture of owners of the train operating companies. The majority of those owners are actually...
Yeah, you want electoralists competing for the union endorsement, right? This is the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, building real grassroots movements, which is fucking rad. And also inspiring other grassroots movements. You know what I mean?
European states, so the French, Dutch railways, Spanish and German, they take the profits and go and subsidise the railways in Europe. But where they are true private sector operators, such as First Group...
Exactly, Green and Grey.
Last year, they took £500 million out of the railway from subsidy from the government. At the same time...
Every day I fall closer to my dad's attitude of honest or no effective politicians. The difference is I'm down for action. This is the thing, right? My dad always says that shit. Politicians, oh, they're all the same. They're all the same. They don't fucking do anything. They all lie, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And it's like, right, okay, so what are we going to do about it? Oh, nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about that, son. You can't change the world. Bollocks. The reason that people think we can't change the world is because of people like my dad who make it a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like, oh, there's no point. There's no point in doing anything. You won't change anything. And it's like, well, have you tried? No. And then me, his son, literally joins the fucking renters union. And as a collective, we prevented multiple people from going homeless. And we're doing more and more and more. You know what I mean? Exactly, Buddha Bebop. Yeah, the divine right of kings felt insurmountable once upon a time too. Exactly. Electoral system was not built to serve common folk. That's true. Hey, Autoboatman, how's it going? The cycle of complaining about politicians but still vote for them has a lot of people trapped. Yes, it does. It does. Yeah, you can't change the world. How did it get this way in the first place? Correct. The amount of people online who say they don't bother with politics because politicians are corrupt and need to hear about direct action. And it's like so easy in a lot of places. Like in the UK, it's so easy to stop people from going homeless. You literally just like film bailiffs who are trying to like illegally evict a tenant and tell them that it's illegal. 9 times out of 10, they'll stop. The law is on your side and on the tenant's side. It's just absolutely absurd, like how easy some of this stuff is. And sometimes you don't even need to actually like, you know? Oh, here we fucking go. The Slackaholic says, Talking about climate change while not being able to consider nuclear as a clear and viable option is just ridiculous. Chat, you know what to do? You know what to do? That's right. That's right. That's right. This place is a message and part of a system of messages. Paying attention to it. Pay attention to it. Sending this message was important to us. We considered ourselves to be a powerful culture. The place is not of honor. And you're banned from the chat. Not even following me. Not even following me. Honestly, not even following me. So stupid. The big problem in my city is that there are so many already homeless people. I don't know how I can help in that case. If you have a city that has a homeless epidemic, there is a reason that those people are going homeless. Right? There's a reason that the people are going homeless. The reason they're going homeless is because they're getting evicted. So what you do is you stop the cause. Helping homeless people who are already homeless is hard. That's a different thing. And I'm not experienced with that, so I can't tell you what to do in that regard. But I do know that landlords are the biggest cause of homelessness. If you have a city, you probably also have unused homes. That's right. And we don't encourage people to break the law here on Twitch.tv because it is a violation of the terms and service to do that. But we will just see more and more people start to squat buildings, the more and more empty homes there are, and the more homeless people that there are. So there you go. He just saw the title. Yeah, well, I've not changed the title since, like, you know, whatever. You know? I don't know. Hog a landlord today. Give him a real job. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, Peanut Butter Princess. Yeah, because sometimes it depends what country you're in, but like sometimes it's like totally legal and fine to just like squat.
They put the fares up, and at the same time they're saying to railway workers, you can't have a pay rise for 2 or 3 years, and you may lose your job, and you've got to chop up all your conditions. If we had a public sector railway that was owned by the people, we could concentrate on making the railway the centrepiece of an integrated transport policy that links up the bus services, the trams, the ferries we've got around our coasts, could all be linked up in a low-cost, carbon-free transport system. We could have a great vision.
That was Manchester. That was the Met in Manchester.
The future, if the railway and public transport was in public ownership, that was at the service of the people and at the service of our environment, which we all know we need to change as an emergency item. So that being in public hands, I think, is a fundamental of a progressive society. Transport for the people, not for profit. What we've got to remember is that trade unions exist in every society. They're almost an organic development. And if you look at where we've...
They are an organic development, right? And you know what that means, chat? That's what I was talking about on Red Planet on Sunday. If you missed it, radical, revolutionary hope and radical optimism. Hello, Andy from Ohio. How are you doing? And hello, Adrenaline. Radical hope and optimism and revolutionary hope and optimism is not utopianism. It's not ignoring, you know, the fact that everything is bad and pretending that everything is fine and good and it's all going to work out. It is the knowledge that the scientific laws, that the material conditions that people suffer from under capitalism will bring its own downfall literally eventually. So it just depends on how we make that process less painful. That's right, Butter Bebop. Yeah, basically. Ended up on first name basis with a couple of unhoused neighbors. It makes me awkward as fuck. I could do most interactions, but I find being natural in those circumstances difficult. It's that is natural. That is natural because you are feeling guilty for having a place to live when they do not. You know? And I think that that's completely normal. Anything you do to fight capitalism will no doubt help the unhoused. It's okay to be not to be feeling to help. Not to feel able to help individual homeless folks. Looking at orgs, working on housing or collectives taking action will help for sure. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we had a great guest. We had a great guest on Sunday. That's right, Adrenaline. Yeah. The homeless situation here is something I've been really moved to help with since I was quite young. Now I've moved somewhere with a serious homeless problem. It's frustrating not having any solutions. Yeah, like, you know, like, here's the thing, right? I'm not advocating for this, especially if it's illegal, wherever you are in the world, right? But the only solution to homelessness is housing is a human right. And currently we don't have that in many places. The only fucking country that has that is like Cuba and maybe Vietnam. I'm not sure about Vietnam. But we just don't have that in a lot of the world. And so the way that you demand that, the way that most people take direct action around that is by squatting. And that's how people do it, you know what I mean? But with homelessness comes a lot of other issues as well. So it's more complicated than just like people don't have a place to stay. It's also like people have problems with drugs. People are addicts. People are in recovery. People are suffering with mental health issues. You know, there's so much to it that it is like, okay, I think the best place to start with that stuff is homeless charities or support groups in your area, innit? You know what I mean? When I was a teenager, I used to have dreams about having a communal space in my basement for homeless people to stay in. It's not something I could do here. I wouldn't be safe anyway, but I do want to do something. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think that's a great aspiration to have. Wait, Lyra did a blue fella 54 minutes ago? Thank you, my friend. I will be doing that. I will be taking you up on that. 100%. Thank you. My back is still sore from Saturday. So there you go. Right, let's continue.
Progressed from. We had a world where we were virtually serfs. We've developed an idea where we have regulations at work, so health and safety regimes itself were brought in through trade union campaigning, the Factories Act, the ending of children's exploitation, and the ending of many deaths at work. Thousands of people used to be killed in Britain.
And whenever anyone tells you, oh, unions never achieved anything, right? They achieved all this. They literally achieved all this. Thousands of people used to be killed in Britain at work all the time. In the US as well. You know, the weekend, the cigarette break, the coffee break, the lunch break, the 8-hour workday, the five-day working week.
Work every year. We've got the very idea of the weekend is a trend.
You tell them to sit their bougie ass down is what you tell them. No, you don't. Because they may not be the bourgeoisie. They may not be the petty bourgeoisie either. This might just be like a regular person who just doesn't understand the necessity of unions. Do you know what I mean? And you're not going to get anywhere by saying something like that. You know?
Trade union idea.
Depending on how brainwashed they are. If they come back with shit like whatever, then you say that to them. That's fine. That's fine as the second response after you've realised that there's no saving them.
Dear, public holidays, sick pay, holiday pay itself, pensions, statutory education for our children, and then the jewel in the crown, of course, is the National Health Service. So all of that stuff stems from the trade union movement, and we can't afford to lose it as working class people. People need to join a union because it's your hope and it's your strength. If you're in a union, you're not isolated. If you're on your own, they pick you off. Like the idea that if you sing on your own, you're one voice. If you sing in a choir, it's a powerful voice. Being able to have the confidence to turn to your workmates and say, we've got an idea, let's try and push for it. And we need to get that into a national campaign stemming from every workplace to make sure that the unions themselves put their flag and their identity into working class communities.
That's
not
fucking
just in
right.
The workplace, but on the working class housing estates and on the streets of Britain. The trade unions have got to show the unorganised how to organise. They've got to show the people that have given up that there is hope, that they can organise and build. At the minute, Starmer and the front bench of the Labour Party seem to be getting pulled to the right as the Tories get pulled to the right in this leadership campaign. That's a tug of war. Politics is always a tug of war. And the working people have got to be with the unions and with other activists and campaigners, no matter what their background or identity is, working together to pull that back to our side so that we've got a real community-based working class movement that stands up for our rights and our positions. And then the politicians will have to follow us.
That's right, often by their deaths. Yeah, unions Yeah.
It's difficult for working class people to get their voices heard, to get...
Yeah, whenever you read about a union massacre and check what they were asking for, it's always like a 40-hour work week or something. Yeah, exactly. Right, now let's have a little bit of fun, chat. Let's have a little fun. Is the comments section going to be hopium or copium? That's what we need to find out. Let's ease the pain with some wacky music. Excuse me. Never heard of Double Down News? Well, listen, you know, check out the fucking, you know, there's the link in the chat if you want to subscribe, if you want to like and shit like that. Like, I'm not even subscribed. I should probably subscribe to Double Down News. They got some good content on there. Let's have a little look. God, that's loud. Sorry. Oh, let's have a go. This is great. Mick Lynch embodies everything that is missing in today's politics. Honesty, integrity, compassion, and common sense. I'm in agreement with everything he proposes. A man with foresight who could do so much for the country if only more people would stop reading the gutter press and the very biased media. Let's go! That's Poggers. Mick Lynch is a great man. I count myself very lucky to be living at a time where a guy like him can go in Sky News and BBC and completely dominate the hacks that have been spoon-feeding the public drivel as an excuse for journalism these past 30 years. Thank fuck for Mick Lynch. Hell yeah, let's fucking go. Mick Lynch is throwback to the normal and ordinary politicians we used to see, especially in Labour, the working class, true working class. Mick and Eddie, absolutely inspirational leads for the working class. Haven't seen anything like this before. I've loved watching them putting the right-wing media right. Support the strikes all the way. Let's fucking go. Terry Pankhurst, what the unions are doing is amazing. In a society that's never been more divided, they're coming together with a common cause to fight for their rights. There's a lesson to be learned for all of us by all of us here. Diamond Panda says, this man has cut right through the British establishment with pure logic and humility. Fucking yes. Absolutely. So much respect for this guy. Heard him on a podcast. He's very well read, intelligent, honest, direct, funny, and takes no nonsense. Finally, someone to get behind. Make us a shining light and a beacon of hope for all working class families in these very dark times. That's right. Who needs Starmer when we've witnessed what a real Labour leader sounds like? What a real Labour leader, what a true Labour leader sounds like. Mick takes me back to the 70s when employment laws actually meant something. A dedicated war has been waged by Thatcher right through to today, making it harder for unions to operate. It's time the little bit of industry we have left get workers protected by unions. Fucking yes! Absolutely spot on. Love it. Love it. Okay, there we go, chat. It wasn't copium, it was true hopium. It was true fucking hopium. Right, okay. What time is it? God fucking damn it, chat. God fucking damn it. Here we are. Here we are. Alfie MJ25, I'm sorry, I'm banning you because I don't like people who compliment me with the first thing. Make a comment about my appearance as the first thing. That they say. If you feel like that's unfair, send me an unban request. Summer for Summer, that sounds beardtastic. You're very close to that line as well, to be honest. But the fact that you said that sounds beardtastic and then actually make a comment about my appearance is a lot better. So welcome in, Summer for Summer. Hope you're doing okay. Listen, chat, it's been a great stream. Thank you so much. I do want to say, though, that today's been very odd. And I've not actually... Nice tan. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, God. Lev says someone's supposed to insult you as a greeting. No, that's a false dichotomy. No. It's about people who are the first-time chatters in the chat. Just don't make weird, unsolicited comments about people's appearances, especially if you're new here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just like say hi. I was hoping to comment on how hot you are. I mean, that's fine, but I don't really, you know what I mean? It does make things like a bit awkward sometimes, and I'd just rather people didn't do that, even if they've been here for a long time. You know what I mean? But anyway. Hello, Prime. Welcome in. If Kira did that, she'd be banning almost everyone new. Right, I mean, yeah. It was meant as a joke. All right, we'll just like put a kappa at the end so then I know it's a joke, or like a /s to indicate that you're being sarcastic in it, you know? I keep being told I use kappa too much. No, that's stupid. No, who told you that? Tone indicators are very important when we are in a text-based... You know what I mean? It is uncomfortable to have people to thirst after me. Yeah, it is, yeah. Sorry about earlier. It's a completely reasonable expectation for chatters. Like, it's fine, Adam, because you've been here for like a while, innit? You know what I mean? You've been following since January this year, and that's okay. I'm sorry, I should have used kappa. Okay, right. See, there you go. Again, this is how you literally get banned. This is how people get banned. Tone indicators are important. You know? It is a good boundary, isn't it? Yeah. You've complimented my appearance before, not in a weird, thirsty way, though. Well, that's the difference, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's the difference. Listen, chat, a bit of a weird one today because I've been so tired. I've neglected to mention that I do this for a living. And I've had no donos today. Literally 0 donos today. And we're edging towards the middle of the month. It's only 6 days until the middle of the month. It's only 3 streams until the end of the month. And we need to have hit £400. Sorry, not the end of the month. The middle of the month. The middle of the month. The middle of the month. That's what I mean. And we need to have hit £400 in the dono goal, in the dono incentives, to unlock movie night. And if you want a double feature movie night where we watch Pumpkinhead and RoboCop in the Discord, get those donos in before the 15th. We need to hit 400 before the 15th. If not, if we hit 400 after the 15th, we'll still unlock movie night. But then, if we don't hit 800 by the end of the month, then we also won't have the public domain movie night that I'm planning to have on stream, live on twitch.tv/djmuel at the end of the, well, in next month, in September. So, what's that? Niaka Noise, thank you so much for the £10. And Vord, I think, is going to come up next. Is that right? That's right. Vord, thank you so much for the £4.13.
Dono.
Emergency dono indeed. Are we going to watch the uncut version? It's whichever one I have. I don't know if that's uncut or what. No idea. No idea. But regardless as to having had like no donos today or anything of the sort, thank you so much everybody for being here. I do like you just being here and hanging out. Like, that rocks, right? So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. But it is the end of the stream now. Now, don't forget to check out the socials. Don't forget, I've got the VOD channel. Every VOD gets uploaded to the YouTube channel, whether or not it's been deleted off Twitch or not. And I am going to be deleting all of my VODs off Twitch very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. Gumba Master, thank you so much for the £6.12. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you for the dono. Thank you everybody for subbing off Twitch, and thank you everybody for supporting the stream. I appreciate that. Hope you'll have the means to support soon. Do not feel bad, please, if you don't have the means to support. I know that times are tight for everybody right now. I am one of those people. Times are tight for me. I'm poor as well. So yeah. My Discord is here. There it is, right there. So enjoy that. Listen, we're going to go and raid somebody right now, but thank you so much, everybody, for all the donos, the little cheeky donos right there. But I do appreciate all of your support. The more that you, like, come here and hang out, the more that, like, people see, like, oh, this guy's got a lot of viewers. You know, this guy's got a lot of viewers. We're having like, he's doing something interesting. Like, what's going on? You know? So, just being here helps as well, in general, right? Who's going to take care of us poor people if not ourselves? That's correct. That's absolutely correct. Listen, chat, we're going to go raid somebody, though. So I would appreciate it if you stayed with me for the raid. I don't know who we're going to go and raid. There's so many people live in my Follow list. Let's have a little look. Who have I not raided in a long time? In a long time. Good God, just so many fucking people in this list. Hey, I think we're gonna go and raid James from the internet. James from the internet is also a lefty political streamer. I've not raided James in a long time. It looks like he's actually playing Minecraft, so that's pretty cool. Raid James from the internet, I think. Is that right? Yes? No? Yes? Yes. Okay, correct. Right, brilliant. Yeah, copy and paste the raid message into your clipboard of your chat, and I will be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. We will be having a look at more leftist video essays, more memes, more stuff like that. You know the score. You know what it's like here. Stunlocks, all that nonsense. It's just silly. It's just a silly little funny time for leftists. So I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. In the meantime, check out the socials. Again, going to drop those links in the chat just in case you missed them. And I will see you either on the VOD channel or just, I don't know, Instagram, TikTok. There's going to be less nuclear stuff tomorrow. That's a guarantee. That's an absolute guarantee. But yeah, take it easy. Stay excellent to each other. Mwah. Peace, 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 peace.